of hate from Mephisto, and this combination executed perfectly at the end of the game.
From Alarak, make it a quad kill set up by that East.
Wow, did you see that mosh pit? 4-man mosh pit while on a conveyor belt. That was like a regular sushi line.
Nukerak, 4 at 50%. Both cores are just absolutely melting. Which one's going to go down first? I think this is going to be Respect the Gooses. Oh my goodness.
Ring. Oh my goodness, the ring. Jaina just pulling up everybody here. That's a 4, make it 5 for nothing.
What a play! Oh my God! Somebody please clip that.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. It's time. It's the playoffs time. I am joined tonight by the one and only Murda. How you doing tonight?
What's up, Aero? Pleasure to be here. I haven't been here in a while, dude.
It has been a while. I'm really excited that you could make it tonight, even though I totally juked you on the time, but I'm glad that you could be here.
At least you acknowledged that. We thought we were going at 8:30, and I was like thinking it was 8 o'clock for some reason, but it's actually 9:30 here on the East Coast.
Yep. All right, well, our teams are both ready to go, so while they're getting started on the draft here, let's just go over real quick the maps, kind of where we were for standings and things like that. So we'll start with the maps here. Our map bans tonight from amateur opponents, the home team, the number 2 seed. They banned out Battlefield of Eternity and Cursed Hollow. Cosmos, they banned out they banned out Sky Temple and Alterac Pass. Our first game here is going to be played on Tomb of the Spider Queen, and it's important to note this is a best of 5 series.
Best of 5, you're right. This is the Coastal Finals. The winner of this matchup moves on to the Division C Grand Finals next week, so this is huge tonight.
And I gotta say, having visited the Grand Finals of Division C, it's a great place to be.
You know, maybe I should have put on your Division C Grand Champion shirt, Aero.
I did that last week. It would have been great if you had this week, but I wasn't going to do it 2 weeks in a row. Real quick here, the standings. So amateur opponents, number 2, Cosmos. They were number 4, just a few points there behind. But take a look at this bracket real quick, as we did have a little bit of an upset at the beginning there. The number 1 seed, Better Than Bots, being defeated by Team Training Wheels. Cosmos beat them in the next round. And then amateur opponents beat Counterpick Stupid and then Randy Newman. And that's how we get here today in this draft. All set up and ready to go.
Well, it looks like we're already seeing some target banning onto this Li Ming early on Tomb of the Spider Queen, a hero who's not necessarily known for what this map is really made for, wave clear. So to me, it's signaling a big target ban here coming out from the side of amateur opponents.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, Ana is a really fantastic hero right now, but it's not an uncommon ban against amateur opponents. They've had that banned against them pretty frequently. So we might see like a Stukov, we might even see a Deckard out of Butte. But the final ban there at Cassia, you almost can't let her through. She's just so strong, and her friend there, Acidar, coming through as the first pick.
Yeah, that's the combo. Typically, you see the Cassia with the Tassadar, which is so good, but Cactus Ham very early in this draft going to get on the Archon hero, and, you know, on a map like Tomb of the Spider Queen I just mentioned, it's going to prioritize that wave clear, and Tassadar has plenty in the tank for that.
Yeah, for sure, and he's got the force wall to block out enemy heroes, and for the most part, that can block out even like an ETC power slide. Unless maybe you take a little crowd surfer, but who does that these days?
So you got to be careful now if you're Tassadar. You don't necessarily have that dimensional shift always as an option anymore. With a hero like Greymane on the other side, going to be played by E-Day 15. Something to be worried about if you're Cactus Ham.
And there's the Stukov. And coming in with it is Garrosh. Now, Murda, earlier today, Blizzard coming out and saying, we're nuking the weather effects.
Oh,
they're gone.
I missed that.
They're not out. They're not gone yet. They're still in the game now.
No.
But just a couple of hours ago, they said they're taking them out. So Garrosh on this map, because I think this is a fog map, if I remember right.
I believe you are correct, yes.
So Garrosh on this map brings a lot of value, being able to hide somewhere on these rotations and just suddenly, gotcha!
I'm legitimately sad right now, Aero.
Oh, you're sad to see the weather go?
I'm legitimately sad. Yeah, I've enjoyed it, but hey, I get it. A lot of people are having issues just with their graphics cards being able to pump it out. You guys have phones, right?
Oh, man. Yeah, just get that iPhone 11 to add a little processing power. You'll be fine. So the Sylvanas and Artanis both banned out here. So Sylvanas, it kind of makes sense. You'd be able to get a lot of pressure with the Web Weavers. The Artanis is not a common pick here. And given the name of amateur opponents, you almost might think that they might look at that. But Rhaegar's still up, and with the Greymane Artanis, maybe that's what they're thinking.
Well, there's going to be Kael'thas, plenty of wave clear now coming out for Silver Jackal, and Oddity going to hop on the Deckard Cain, one of the stronger heroes in the meta right now, and it's going to give them an additional layer of lockdown with that Scroll of Sealing to combo off that power slide from ETC. This could be great, especially getting that additional gravity lapse in from Kael'thas. That is a triple threat CC combo chain.
And the Living Bomb spread potential with a Greymane to finish it all off can be absolutely deadly. We'll have to see what we get out of that solo. Is it going to be the Imperius? I think Imperius would be really great for the combo, but his solo lane presence might not be as good as Chen. Maybe I'm not positive how that looks.
I mean, I think the spear is good enough to kind of shut down the Chen every time he goes into his keg drink. I could see a case being made here for Imperius. What else might it be though? Maybe just Yorel's just better. There's Imperius.
Yeah, and I think that is also I think that's why they got rid of the Artanis. Because Artanis into Chen, in theory, just sits there and stacks for the entire game until you get to level 20 and boom, you're dead.
Well, I see a lot of people here in support for both of these squads tonight. A few supporting amateur opponents earlier. Now I'm seeing some highlighted messages saying, let's go Cosmos. So welcome to the Division C West Finals, everybody.
Absolutely. This is going to be a great time. And let's see, let's get a poll up here. See who you guys think is going to win on game number 1.
Well, Aero, if you're looking for my opinion, neither side has the Cassia or the Johanna, so it's very difficult. If you've watched my stream this season, Stoic and I have had an ongoing joke about how those two heroes automatically win. But looking at this, I think the CC chain on the side of Cosmos is just really good. They're the number 4 seed tonight up against the number 2 seed, but I don't think those seeds matter much. Both teams are looking to punch that ticket to next week.
All right, well, here we go into game number 1, Tomb of the Spider Queen. Let's get our teams introduced. Murda, why don't you go ahead and start?
Well, over here on the left-hand side in the blue, we got Sonic's Bro 33 on the Rainer. There's Saint Terminator playing the Chen, Cactus Ham on the Tassadar, Duck Rogers playing Garrosh, and last but not least, on the Admiral Shtukov, it's Butte Holiday. Give it up for the amateur opponents.
All right, and over here on the right, we got Cosmos. It's going to be Oddity playing the Deckard Cain, E-Day 15. Going to be on that Greymane. The Whippin' Nene on the Imperius. Silver Jackal on Kael'thas. And is it Cirrus? Sierras. We'll go Sierras playing ETC. And check it out. They're all on their celestial mounts, their horses, their raptors. And it looks like they even have almost all different mounts. The bear.
Some of these guys getting some stealth too.
I like that positioning for ETC, getting the stealth and being able to kind of just watch over what the rest of the team's doing.
So early portion of this game, just going to take a quick peek quick peek at some of these talents, it's double globe stacks, of course, for ETC and Kael'thas. They'll be rotating very frequently here on Tomb of the Spider Queen, already at 3 stacks apiece. And on the other side, it's going to be the Shockwave build, Static Charge picked up for Tassadar. I think definitely the way to go here on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
So we did have there the ETC holding onto that bush, getting that stealth, knocking Garrosh back, but he gets thrown, silenced, the root coming out, and Stukov getting obliterated.
Wow, that is the power of this combo of this CC chain. Stukov had no way to get out of that, kind of out in no man's land for a bit, and ended up paying at the 1 minute mark, already first blood for Cosmos.
Yeah, that looked really dangerous there for ETC for a moment, until the rest of the team realized Stukov's sitting there channeling that silence arm to keep ETC locked down, and the rest of amateur opponents couldn't really capitalize on that value, get the counter kill.
Well, Aero, you put out that pregame poll asking who's going to win. 77% of the vote over to the amateur opponents here in game number 1.
Well, if you go by first blood, then game's already over and chat was wrong, but that would be silly, so...
Well, you gotta love this pressure they're building up in that bottom lane. Siege Giant's already on that wall, getting a ton of damage in, and look at what Butte Holiday's doing, just holding down that lurking arm as long as she needs to. They get one of those towers down already.
And it looks like maybe the wall here, the Giants do finish that up here. Chen's gonna get caught by ETC, but they're pulling back. So that's a little bit of an XP benefit for amateur opponents. Gets them close to even up, balancing out that death early as they head over to get their bruiser camps on the map.
Gem count pretty close on both sides, although Cosmos already 11 in the bank as they're grabbing some more here in the top lane. Ciaris holding on to 12 gems right now, probably going to try to cash him in soon. There he goes. And looks like Greymane will be heading over to that bruiser camp.
Also, Deckard Cain with that level 1 quest, ultimately going to have the armor reduction. It also, if I remember correctly, puts him in vision for like 12 seconds. That's a crazy amount of time.
Yeah, and you also love seeing at level 4, picking up the Ruby, going to allow Greymane to dive in a bit deeper, getting some help from that Haradra Cube and those mini Kool-Aid pouches. I think definitely a nice little pick here when they're going to be trying to get on top of multiple heroes stacked up in that CC combo.
We also do have Rockstar out of ETC, so a little bit better movement speed. Really helpful against that Garrosh to help make sure that ETC and his allies are able to get away from those throws a little bit easier.
47 gems in the bank. The other 6 are on hand right now for the amateur opponents. Who can make it there, though? Nice defense up top right now. They're going to have to start rotating down towards that bottom egg spawner. Sonic's Bros 33 currently holding on to what they need, and there Raynor goes.
And it looks like they will get the turn-in as just not enough in the tank for Cosmos to get their turn-in before. So the first Web Weaver's coming up. Going to be going over to amateur opponents.
Nice bit of damage onto the wall from that bruiser camp coming out from Cosmos, but they're going to have to play up against this first Web Weaver phase of the game. They do have their level 7 talents just moments ahead of the amateur opponents. But now on level 7 to level 7, this Web Weaver phase will be a difference maker right now for amateur opponents.
So they did start by clearing up the wave in the top lane to get the Web Weaver a little bit farther forward, but it still ended up landing at the wall. Mid is getting cleared up before it gets really any significant damage at all. So it's gonna be a battle over top lane, it looks like.
Garrosh getting harassed now at mid. Now a big gravity lapse and plenty of damage. Living Bomb gonna get the finish from Kael'thas. Second kill of the game for Cosmos, as their clear should be much easier with Garrosh dead. They might even look for more, trying to chase down that Raynor a bit. And maybe they find Tassadar. Look at this. Power slide through. There's a gravity lapse. Big flame strike. And the finish. Third kill of the game, but it looks like we have a death down in the bottom. Imperious has fallen.
And that's pretty solid for Chen now. He's going to be able to push this a little bit harder. Doesn't have a ton of wave here. The Web Weaver's nearly complete, but will be able to get most of this fort, if not all the way.
Yeah, nice work. I mean, that's first Web Weaver phase. You get a structure. Good money there from Saint Terminator.
There you go. So pretty significant value out of AO there. They got the kill. They got top lane to about half, bot lane all the way down. And really that pressure in bot lane primarily came from them being able to secure that wall early in the game as well. giving Chen the opportunity to even get that kill onto Imperius.
Well, kills are currently the difference maker when you look at the XP totals. About a quarter level lead currently for Cosmos. They have the gems they need for their turn in. 47 already in the bank. So really just need one hero to find their way to one of these egg spawners, and they will have enough. But it appears to me they might want those level 10s first, because they're not really prioritizing jamming these gems in at all right now.
Just want to call out chat's talking about sound. I can turn up the game sound a little bit if we need to, maybe after the game. I don't want to do it right now, but just let me know if you guys prefer that. I usually keep it pretty quiet. So 10's now here for Cosmos, and I agree with this decision. I have always felt like if you're really close to 10, that it's better to try to wait for the 10's rather than try to get 10's, know, with the web weavers. Getting that advantage and setting yourself up means you get more potential value out of this push.
Well, Mana Addict is complete. Frog Rock is complete, and here they come with their heroic talents online, looking to get the finish on this Chen. There's the Cursed Bullet. Gravity Lap's going to interrupt that drink from St. Terminator, but the Hyperion is just too good. The Rubies never came out from Deckard Cain. That's going to cost them 2 lives, make it 3.
Yeah, Deckard ended up having a Garrosh right up in his face, so he used the stay a while and listen to make sure that he didn't get taken out, but that put a little bit of a pressure into the rest of the team, having ETC and Greymane right up in the front there trying to take out Chen, and just barely missed getting the kill before he was able to get Stormers and fire off.
Well, they're going to try to push forward that bottom lane, but I don't think it's going to do nearly enough. It's going to be a very free clear here for the amateur opponents. Nice defense, and now they find themselves with their first XP lead of the game. And looking at the gem counts, a lot of them just got dropped by Cosmos. So it's 56 on hand, ready to go for the amateur opponents.
And it looks like they're going to head over to their bruiser camp to have that pressure in the lane to help give them the opportunity to turn in their gems, keeping the rest of the team in the lane. But Duck Rogers, right in the middle of red shirts here, does throw out the Greymane, but I don't think it matters as he's going to fall, and that's a few more gems. And Sierra's there making sure to keep those locked down. That's 9 gems. It's not a ton of gems, but it's enough that they cannot turn in now.
Well, you know, if you're Garrosh, you have to be careful in this matchup. You're up against the Greymane, and I heard the Cursed Bullet come out in that last fight, although we didn't end up seeing it on stream. You can't walk into him because you get that power slide in your face. It's a free, wide open Cursed Bullet, and Garrosh can absolutely die from that combo.
Especially when you have stun after stun, and you've got Imperius who does a little bit of percent damage with that. It's a lot of damage to follow up on.
Yeah, a lot of pressure to pop that level 4 Indomitable talent for Garrosh. If you don't have it, you really just... You need to wait for the cooldown to come back online. There he is getting lifted again. Pops the Indomitable that time. Here comes the big Pyroblast from distance. Not going to do enough to finish off Duck Rogers that time.
And he got a lot of healing there from the Stukov as well, but I don't even know that it mattered. He still was fairly high on his health bar as it was. ETC kind of by himself here, but Garrosh doesn't want to interrupt his team getting the turn-in with that level 13 advantage right now.
Yeah, 1 by 1 looking for the turn-in here up top. There goes Chen now with the most gems on hand, 29. Flame Strike going to interrupt at that time, and there is a defense ready to go for Cosmos, but they don't have 13 until just now.
And it's important to note there, Kael'thas taking Burned Flesh at level 7 gives him a percent damage as well. ETC might be looking for the potential for a mosh, especially with that down. Stay a while coming out, and Duck Rogers getting obliterated so quickly.
Chen's got to be careful, too. He did get those 29 gems in. Archon also popped here from Tassadar, trying to turn around. Big lurking arm from Butte Holiday. Stukov holding a lot of heroes steady there, and now Chen trying to fly in from above. Not quite able to find anyone with low health, so that'll be it in the fight. Just that Garrosh has fallen. 13 more gems needed for amateur opponents to get in that tank, and oh boy, Chen. Oh boy.
So this is kind of interesting. We've seen now a couple of times in that almost exactly that same spot. Garrosh did it a few minutes ago. Chen now doing it here, right in this mid lane, putting forward a little bit too far, and then finding the combo coming in. I mean, even before they selected Imperius, that was mentioned, right? Power Slide with Imperius combo. You've got Greymane Cursed Bullet. I mean, they have the potential to blow somebody up very quickly. So even if you have a lot of defenses like Chen and Garrosh have, you just can't be there.
Well, they're going to have their second Web Weaver phase of the game, and this is not what I was expecting to happen by any means. You saw the big gem advantage, but now we have a taunt coming out on the EDC. There's a huge silence again right at his feet. No way to get away. Now Duck Rogers on the wrong side of town. Picks up a globe. It's going to fall anyway to that living bomb from Kel'Thas. Tank for tank, and that's all we're going to see for now. Just a defense now for the amateur opponents on these Web Weavers.
Yeah, that'll get them to clear up the top lane. They do lose their well. They're heading down into the mid lane, but so is Cosmos. And the well for sure is gone. Well, I was going to say maybe even the fort, but Hyperion might just save that fort.
Maybe. It'll be close. This bottom one's going to fall, though, with Greymane on it for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. That Web Weaver's still rather healthy as well, so... Forts are now overall pretty equal. Top lane a little bit lower for Cosmos. And amateur opponents a little bit lower in the mid lane. Overall, though, still a fairly even game. I mean, our kill count's not too far different. The XP's still very close. And that's 2 Web Weavers now for Cosmos.
And Cosmos a little bit closer than their opponents, the amateur opponents, at reaching level 16. But we're pretty close, though. You know, mid-game, I'd say it's about as close as we could have asked for.
For sure, and... It looks like both teams kind of working on getting that level 16. Cosmos is going to pick it up first. And maybe looking to start a fight, but they ended up pulling back there.
Yeah, they just got to figure out a way to keep their Garrosh alive. 4 deaths in the game already for Duck Rogers. And if they can keep their tank position on the field, I feel like they'd be well ahead in this matchup. But just having a bit of issue dealing with this CC combo.
Well, we should be able to get a Web Weaver here soon. Tassadar with the force
fence.
wall.
Oh, God. You think he saw him, or that was just, like, instinct?
It had to be instinct, right? Because he was stealthed in the bush.
Well, you got to give him credit.
And that's with electric fence, too, at level 4. So slows, does a little bit of damage. Most importantly, it revealed him. So he couldn't do anything then. I suppose he could have speared over the wall, but why?
Well, here comes the mosh pit. They do find Garrosh, and I don't think he had Indomitable up that time, but the gravity lapse was there anyway. It didn't even matter. So long cooldown used by ETC maybe wasn't needed, but they get the kill they need, and that's going to slow them down once again without the Garrosh. How do you really walk forward onto these egg spawners? I don't think you do, and here comes Greymane looking for a finish onto this Rainer. But Sonic's Bro is going to be okay. Pops his E and plenty health there.
Just 4 gems. That's all it takes for amateur opponents. But they also probably want to wait until their Garrosh is up anyway. Unless they feel that they really need to have the Web Weavers for a defense. But this mid fort's going to be... It's all but gone anyway. So...
Let's be real. They got back-to-back turn-in available if they can get it.
Good point. So we do have, let's see. So Kel'Thas going into the double Fury, I think it's Fury of the Sunwell. Yeah, so the double Q explosion there. But ETC is going to get caught by Garrosh with the taunt. Both of these tanks are finding
15
themselves...
gems, though.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that's a fantastic win for amateur opponents. Now they can get this turn in. But these tanks are just getting destroyed by the teams.
Well, if you wanted to see a back-to-back turn-in, this might be the chance to get it here. With ETC dead, they're going to get the push down, I'd imagine, both of these forts that are still standing in the middle of the map. And once those are down, getting out to those egg spawners again is going to be much easier, especially for a hero like Rainer currently holding on to 32 gems. They're going to need that space provided from this push right now.
Well, and this top fort's already at half health, so it should be gone. Cosmos is instead devoting their resources to mid lane to keep that one nice and healthy.
Smart move.
Yeah, and the blue bot, or the bot Web Weaver, is pretty far back, so it's already at half health, and it hasn't even taken any real damage from anybody.
Well, they do have Hyperion available. I'm expecting it here from Sonic's Bros. They're stepping in with 5 heroes in this top lane. There it comes. Web Blast coming as well. And they're going to quickly get through one of these towers, likely the other one as well.
It's very possible they can get the weld. Maybe not. The web weaver just... Oh, no, there it goes. There it goes. And Hyperion is such a good siege tool. I didn't know for the longest time that it actually had an extra bomb, basically, from the cannons. I always thought it was just the incremental damage from the shots, but you get massive... It's like 3,000 damage 3 or 4 times during that duration. However, Garrosh coming in looking for that ETC.
Oh, Moshpit comes out overlapping with the stay a while and listen. Here's the Pyroblast. Hits on the 3 targets, but gets no kills. They don't end up finishing up that ETC that was low health, and everyone's walking away with heroics used and nothing to show for it.
And, you know, sometimes that's the best case scenario for both teams, right? Especially as the tanks have been going. Trying to get the double turn-in, as you mentioned earlier. And that silence is going to zone them out, as well as the electric fence.
All they need is Tassadar to get these gems in the bank, and they're good to go. But now Chen finding himself in trouble. They do lose their Rainer down the bottom side. Greymane and Imperius comboing for that finish. Now they're going to be able to press in and push them off this egg spawner again. Spear over the wall. Cactus Ham in trouble and will fall.
And the silence coming out to disengage. But Cosmos now really putting in the work. They're almost level 20. They'll be 20 in just a moment.
Aero.
The Web Weavers are back out for
oh no,
amateur opponents, but that's going to be a nice, easy clear.
Yeah, gems wasted, pretty much. I mean, you got Tassadar and Rainer down, your 2 siegers. You're not getting anything done with this. You just wasted 60, was it 60 or 65 gems?
60, I think.
Oh, it was just the 60. Yeah, that hurts.
So I'm not sure, because it's entirely possible with those 2 heroes dead that Cosmos could have gone up, taken that top fort, picked up a boss. Like, this is a very defensive play, and it stinks that they can't get any push out of it, but it means that they don't lose more.
Okay. Maybe. I don't know. Tomb of the Spider Queen, if I'm getting objectives, I want structures. And if I'm not getting it, to me, it's like, why did we just cash them in? But I guess to each their own, Aero.
Well, and we might see a little bit of fun right here as Imperius catches Garrosh in the Cursed Bullet.
Combo is so good.
They lose the Greymane, though. So
And
1 for
20
1.
gems.
Oh, man. The stay while coming out. Big mosh pit.
Backside, Kel'Thas trying to get some combos back up. There's the Archon from Tassadar trying to survive through, but won't be able to. Feud Holiday trying to run away, and it looks like she will make it out. Sierra is also on low health, trying to chase down that Stukov. Will Sierras get it? Yes, he will. So it ends up being a 4 for 2 in favor of Cosmos. Just the Chen still on the map in the Panda Pals form. Oh, look, they do get a structure, Aero.
They sure did.
Look at that.
So, I mean, net positive in a big way for amateur opponents. That said, Cosmos does have the potential for both a boss and a turn-in here. We see Silver Jackal going for it. He's not got a lot of health, though, so...
Yeah, no support here. They don't even have potions on the map. They already throw down the gems to get this Web Weaver phase started. Remember, ETC is a healer right now. He's got Prog Rock complete, so as long as Silver Jackal stands nearby, we'll be getting some HP back. Jen's going to try to hop in here and play the role of Disruptor. And also walking in now is Garrosh. We might have a boss deal. Aero, this could get dicey.
Well, there's the Indomitable. They do get the kill onto Kel'Thas, but here comes Greymane looking for Duck Rogers, who is having to pull back. So Sierras is going to cap it. Duck throwing Terminator away. Can Chen get away now, though?
Oh, man. Well, 7 deaths in the game now for Garrosh. Has not been able to stay on his feet. Boss, Web Weavers, this could be a keep here for them.
And especially if they can get Cactus Ham, they do. And Deckard, they're finally able to get that root quest completed. Kind of surprised, because it felt like he was getting a lot of roots earlier, but just needed that one last one.
Spear over the wall, power slide through. That's another finish. 3 heroes dead now for the amateur opponents. Boss in the top lane. Web Weaver just now showing up as well. This will certainly be a keep. Will it be the game, Aero?
I don't see any way it can't, especially with Chen getting taken out there. A ton of gems on the ground. That's not necessarily going to matter as this boss, almost full health, coming onto the
Mid-keep down
core.
too. GG's called. That's it.
And there it is. Cosmos taking game number 1 over amateur opponents. Murda, buddy, that was a crazy game. That was a tough game to be a tank.
They had the lead at the start and they kind of just went the whole way through with it. I told you pregame that CC chain combo is just really effective on a map like this with a lot of fighting, a lot of close rotations, and time after time they were able to abuse that Garrosh and really had their way with it.
Oh no, I didn't get any of the stats or talents. They just disappeared.
Well,
that's rude.
I still have it up, but I can't show you.
Nope. Feel free to talk about any of the stats or talents you'd like, Murda. Anything particular you'd like to shout out there?
Well, I think the biggest talent in the game at level 10, it was Greymane's Cursed Bullet. It allowed them to kill those two huge health pool heroes, Garrosh and Chen, whenever they wanted. And I mentioned the Garrosh is the one who had to deal with it the most. But with the CC chain that they had along with the Greymane, it's such a perfect little composition of a team to get the victory there on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Well, that was quite a match, or quite a game 1 of this best of 5 series. Why don't we take a couple of minutes just real quick, get a hydration break, and we'll come back and see where we're going for game number 2.
Sure.
I am beyond your comprehension, mortal. All of creation shall tremble before the burning standards of hell. Attack! Show no weakness!
Good day, my friend.
Retreat! Get out of there!
And we materialized. Well done indeed. Now to cross you off the list.
We require these. Obtain them.
On my way! La-di-da-di-da-da!
Let us slaughter together.
Welcome back, everybody. We're getting ready for game number 2. I'm Aero. I'm joined by Murda. We did not coordinate our Regen Phoenix colors tonight. It just happened to work out that way. Yeah, it's he's wearing a purple hero shirt. I'm wearing an Aero shirt. You can't a guild shirt. So it's
This
just
is
how it
the
worked
one
out.
that has all the rolls on the sleeves.
Is it the 6 rolls?
The 6 rolls? Yeah.
Oh, nice, nice.
I don't know
So-
if you guys were able to see that on stream or not.
Little bit. So just real quick here, wanted to show the maps. Our next map is going to be Dragonshire. Teams are all set up and ready to go. Also, one correction, that prior map was selected by Cosmos as well, from the Spider Queen. So here we go, into the draft. Game number 2. Murda, we're seeing Li Ming again.
Yeah, target banned in game 1. I believe this has to be a continuation here in game number 2. Makes a bit more sense on Dragonshire. And once again, we'll see the ban onto Ana as well.
So I could very well believe that we'll see some of the same heroes that we saw in last game. Certainly ETC, Garrosh gets some value here as well. A lot of bushes for them to hide in and take advantage of as tanks. Greymane still gets a lot of value here. He can take those camps. He can do a lot of damage to the Dragon Knight. Stukov also gets a lot of value here. But we could also see that Artanis that was banned out.
Well, one thing that I forgot to mention and really should have, game number 1, going into Tomb of the Spider Queen up against that huge CC composition of Cosmos. They brought a Stukov, the amateur opponents, and they don't have a cleanse with that hero. I'd love to see them maybe look at something else that was available in game number 1, the Rhaegar. I think especially with that Chen they had there, even the Tassadar would have gotten some good value from the Bloodlust and had the option of that cleanse at level 7.
Well, they had Raynor too. Chen,
Yeah,
Raynor, and Tassadar could be absolutely crazy.
For sure.
But Cassie is going to get through, and so that's going to be going over to there to amateur opponents.
Strong hero. Hasn't been nerfed to my knowledge, although Aero, you've heard about way more Heroes of the Storm news than me, obviously. Did they announce Cassia nerfs coming?
So they didn't announce anything other than just that they're removing the weather effects and that they're going to change their update strategy with regard to anomalies. So they're not going to put them out every season. They're going to put them out when they feel like it, basically.
Okay, I think that makes sense. So they take the two heroes that pair in best with Cassia, the Johanna and the Tassadar. So in response, it'll be ETC and a Sylvanas that was banned out in game number 1.
Sylvanas giving that Dragon Knight all the more value. Could be a real rough time here. It wouldn't surprise me to see the Artanis banned out here, honestly, by either team potentially, because I believe that Terminator plays a fair bit of Artanis as well. But they're going to start off with the ban on the Banduin, as they say.
Well, I know Butte, she likes playing the pretty boy Anduin, so perhaps they did a little bit of homework and saw that in her playlist and said, hey, we're not going to give the old cute prince to her. So will she go back to that Stukov, or do they look at something else here in game number 2? So far what I'm seeing with the Johanna, the Tassadar, yeah, you could bring a Stukov out against something like that, but especially to shut down the Johanna, the silence is so effective at making sure she can't hop into that Iron Skin, and it'll be Deckard Cain's second game in a row here for Oddity.
And on top of that, we've got a Phoenix. And I'm not going to name any names, but I know at least one person out in chat who probably just threw their soda can against the wall, walked away from their computer, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes, or say 20 minutes when the game's over.
Well, we're going to see that support pick right here. It's Ariel this time for Butte Holiday, and the Artanis selected for Saint Terminator. This hero was banned out in game number 1, the Artanis, but it was banned by the amateur opponents. They're obviously thinking that this could be one of those highly contested heroes tonight.
And now we get to see what is Nay gonna pick. The top lane is so important on this map, being able to stay on that control point. Artanis is really good for that. He's got that shielding that can keep him there, and going into that protective
again.
iron. Yeah,
sure. It was good in game 1. I like the one spear we did see over the wall from Imperius was fantastic, picking up one of those kills onto Garrosh. Yeah, I like the selection.
So they do have... So Phoenix has both Tassadar and Johanna to help with the slows. I don't think that... I don't think Imperius has a slow unless he takes it on his Q.
His W, right?
Oh, yeah, I guess that does. Yeah, I guess that does. Yeah. And then... oh, yeah, and I guess Deckard has his Herodric Cube, so he's got that as well.
Sure.
So lots of ways to combo with a Phoenix slow. But I mean, I gotta say, I really like amateur opponents draft a lot.
I do too. Yeah, I picked Cosmos in game number 1. I think I'm gonna flip it over here this time to the amateur opponents. I like what they're able to get the Cassia and the Ariel. It's a nice battery for her. And you mentioned already the Sylvanas with a DK could be detrimental.
Well, we've got our poll in chat. Make sure you hit the drop down, select the team you think is going to win or that you just want to win. Show them some love, get their numbers up, and let's get these teams introduced.
Well, over here on the left-hand side, playing the Ariel tonight will be Butte Holiday. On the Cassia will be Sonics Bro 33. Cactus Ham going to play the Sylvanas. Duck Rogers making a move over to ETC. And last but not least in the solo lane will be Artanis, played by Saint Terminator. Give it up for the number 2 seed, the amateur opponents.
All right, and currently up 1-0 in this best of 5 series, it's Cosmos. We got Nay on the Imperious. Silver Jackal going to be playing. Who is he playing? Tassadar. We got Sierras on Johanna. Oddity going to be playing that Deckard Cain again, and Ide 15 on the Phoenix. So
I got this talent screen up already, and I like what I see from Sylvanas. Going for the unfurling shadows. I like the pick. It's the way I go when I play the hero, but it's a bit risky.
Big swap there onto the Tassadar, and a root coming out, but it's not enough to save Tassadar. First blood 30 seconds or so earlier this time. And
Yeah.
Murda, 100% of the games so far in this set have gone over to the team that got first blood.
That's true, Aero. That is very true. Chakra build going for Tassadar, I think, again, just the way to go. And for the Phoenix player, I wasn't expecting this. Arsenal Synergy picked up.
You know, and that was the build for a long time. I don't know if it still is or not, because you just don't see Phoenix that often, but it does allow for that big burst from his alternate attack. I don't remember what it's called. Not repeater cannon, but phased cannon, I think is what it's called.
Right.
So it's a lot of extra damage. I think it also slows, so even more. The votes coming in a little bit closer this time. Amateur opponents still in the lead, but at 55% this time instead of 77%.
Speaking of the amateur opponents, they're going for a double camp play to start off the game. They already got their siege camp, but right now it's Sylvanas and Ariel trying to work on the bruiser camp, and they grab it at the minute 40 mark with both of our temples active. Up top, Imperious is going to move on the point first, but here comes 2 heroes. Big swap over the wall, going to boop it back as Butte Holiday. Nay able to scoot away, however, but no one there to defend those bruisers.
So we'll see how much value that amateur opponents can get out of that here in the top lane, and any pressure you can get up there to help the wall is going to be, it's going to make it a little bit easier for you in the rest of the game, but they're losing value in the bot lane, and the bot lane is so strong. I don't know that this is a great play.
You're making the absolute perfect point, Aero. Whether or not they get that top 4, it doesn't really matter because they've already lost their wall down bottom. And that's what matters most here on Dragonshire. They're going to lose their ETC as well. Yikes time, because that means Fountain's going to be gone and potentially now there's Fort in the bottom lane.
So they're really trading off their value of their solo laner versus the value of the team. And on the bright side, they do have Oriel, right? Oriel is unlimited in her healing potential. It's only limited based on what you can do damage-wise. So maybe the well is less urgent for them? I don't know.
Maybe. Butte falling pretty low, walking into one of those Psy Storms. Has to be a bit careful now. There's the wall coming out. Gonna prevent the that's the Cassia from getting away. The crown confused me. I thought it was Imperious, so see you later. That's a double kill. Cassia and Ariel down. Now Duck Rogers in trouble once again. Chakra gonna help get the finish along with Phoenix. Beautifully done. A triple kill for Cosmos.
And they're looking at probably finishing this bottom fort, which is gonna happen here probably just from the minions. A lot of value up top lane. They get the full fort and a little bit of damage onto the wall, but I mean, they don't call this the death bridge because it's the best way to end the game.
Technically, it is a way to finish the game. Technically. Maybe 1 out of 1,000 games.
I think you're being optimistic, Murda.
Maybe.
Oh, Tassadar juking the phase prism there with a wall. All 5 of amateur opponents down here looking for Tassadar. Not going to be able to get the kill, but they do land at the point there quickly enough to be able to flip it over.
Here comes the first Bruiser Camp play of the game for Cosmos. They got their Joe Deckard. Now Tassadar and Phoenix going to join in as well. It's going to help out the Imperious for a little bit. But without that fort up there, there's really not much Nay's going to be able to do for the time being. They've got to find a way to even out structures in that top lane to make this an even match up there.
And ultimately, I think that lost fort does help the Artanis. Like, the Artanis over Imperius, that's a big value for that solo lane. I still don't think it's as much value as the bot lane would have been, but we'll see how it works out in the late game. Right now, Cosmos a full level ahead, and it's because of those kills, and it's because of getting that bottom camp earlier there. And they're only a half a level away from level 10.
Well, something I want to make note of, we're looking at level 1 Protector of Ire for Artanis. Hasn't been able to find too many heroes to auto-attack in this one. Stacking kind of slow, especially when you consider the big push that came out in that bottom lane from Cosmos. Just weren't any heroes nearby for the longest time. So slow stack in there is going to mean double temples currently achieved and secured now onto that Dragon Knight for Cosmos.
And, you know, Murda, I believe I mentioned last game, unless it was something I said previously, but, you know, that talent Crowd Surfer, which almost never gets picked. Oh, it's picked.
Oh, boy.
Blessed Shield did go out, the punt going out, sending Oriole back, and ETC's just going to get taken out there thanks to the Phoenix ult. And that should pretty well give him this mid fort as well now.
That's great value. Mid fort now down, bot fort's already gone, and Cosmos, I'd say, has about a 75% chance to win this game from this point, having those two structures already. Iron Skin pop from Johanna, gonna turn around, looking to get the finish onto this Artanis. A lot of slows coming out from Tassadar, and they will get the finish. There's that stay a while and listen from Deckard Cain. Spear now coming out from Imperius, but you can't be there, my friend. A couple towers.
Oh man, you know, I make the comment sometimes about flying too close to the sun, and I feel like Imperius in that circumstance was about as perfect of a character as you could possibly have for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, bot lane is mounting pressure against the wall. Imperius is coming back up, so there's not a huge, you know, advantage out of this, especially since there were the other kills. Still a level up is Cosmos, and both sides, they got all their people. They got almost all the ultimates on the side of amateur opponents, so they may look for an engagement here. Actually, ETC doing it right now.
Yeah, I did select the Mosh Pit at level 10. We also are going to see the Wailing Arrow, Ball, Lightning. That will be the Crystal Aegis for Ariel. Wasn't sure if she wanted to go into the Resurrect, and I think, obviously, the better pick here, it is Suppression Pulse for Artanis.
Resurrect, you know, could get a little bit of interesting value with a death metal at level 20, but I think that if you're playing that level of combo, you're probably already losing the game.
I mean, for me, no shade. They've been losing their tank a lot tonight. Maybe having that res would allow them to play the kind of game they're trying to play. Here's a big swap onto Phoenix, but he's able to warp out. Pops that Purification Salvo as well. A lot of low health heroes, but that stay a while and listen is not going to keep anyone steady. No kills, a lot of heroics exchange, though.
Still the Crystal Aegis and Mosh Pit available, so, you know, ETC's got to be careful with that Mosh, because he's got the stay a while, he's got a couple of options from Joe, and of course Imperius that can all interrupt that Mosh Pit. But there's also just the fact that he can just die. If he doesn't get Tassadar in it, the amount of damage that Tassadar can put out onto him with that Shock Ray and his Psystorm is oppressive.
Well, Oracle just revealed them on that Bruiser camp, but they're not going to make the move in. Instead, Artanis trying to walk onto this point. Going to find a lot of heroes right in his face, but a three-man Mosh Pit going to slow that down. I don't think they pick up any kills from this, but great zoning coming out from Duck Rogers on that play, saving their Artanis. Will end up paying with his life, however.
And we might see Terminator fall as well. The Force Wall coming in, locking him down. Just as good of a CC as any stun if you can't get across it.
Yeah, unfortunate. You know, I'm crediting that play from Duck Rogers really saving the Artanis, but both of them end up dying by the end of the play. True feels bad moment for the amateur opponents. Now going to lose that Moon Shrine in the bottom lane. There goes Imperius up to the Sun Shrine right now, and this could be the second Dragon Knight of the game for Cosmos.
It's looking very likely, especially with Deckard having stay while. He could stop anybody from coming over here. But right now, they're just not close enough to be able to get this dragon. So Tassadar gonna pick that up, and they're on their way to their second Dragonite, right?
Second Dragonite. I said it was about a 75% odds to win the game after they got that second fort down. If they're able to get this keep in the bottom lane, those odds are going to go up even higher. Big advantage time for Cosmos, and they have 5 heroes going to be stacked up in this bottom lane to make it happen.
Artanis in the middle trying to catch him up to the level 13s. Does get that 13 here. So we have even talents, but still 2-level advantage for Cosmos. So that's extra damage, extra health. A little bit harder to kill the team.
Big boot gonna land there onto Artanis, one of the stronger clearers in this matchup. Dragonite gonna get as much damage as they can onto this keep, but I don't think it's enough to get the finish.
Name missing that spear, so ultimately the force wall allowing them to disengage. Blessed Shield going out as well for the they're using everything to just kind of get out, but now maybe they're looking for a re-engage here. But they've used all of their tools. I think that, yeah, I was gonna say, I think they just need to leave.
Maybe a moment late on the Archon. You know, I'd rather have it popped. I didn't see if the cooldown was still waiting or not, but I'd rather have it during the push with the Dragonite if possible.
Right.
Was Tassadar in the DK? Maybe I'm crazy.
Oh, he was. Yeah, he was.
Okay, that explains it. Oh, yikes. Mosh Pit not going to connect onto anything. Good dodging there from Phoenix. They do end up stealing away this siege camp. Now a swap onto the Phoenix, warping out his E-Day 15. Inside here, Imperius and Johanna trying to slow down this retreat, and here comes all of Cosmos with the fight.
And the root coming out. We've got the force wall there to lock down Terminator. He's going to fall here in a moment. ETC went down as well. They get the Sylvanas. And there's that Arsenal synergy right there. Getting the value kill out onto Oriole. And a 5-man team wipe coming out from Cosmos. They're making their way to this keep. Is it enough? Do they have enough time to win the game at this point?
Maybe. This keeps low. I mean, still 10 seconds until most of the heroes are back up. They're going for it.
Well, they're going to have to be a little bit more careful than they were there. Getting stunned by the core will certainly slow things down. I'm not sure they get it.
Deckard Cain can slow this down when they get here. Just got to keep Oddity in a good spot. There's suppression pulse to slow it all down. Now, core shielding still up. Johanna dead. This is not going to be a finish yet.
That was a great sleep from Deckard. Unfortunately, they woke up ETC, or I think they all make it out just fine. That's a little bit more awkward, but the never mind, they get the counter kill out onto ETC. Artanis died earlier, and Archon's up.
These shock rays are hurting so much. Cassia is going to be locked in. Armor stacks dropped inside the Psystorm. A triple kill once again for Cosmos. 16-3 on the kill count.
And they're not going to go try to win the game. They don't have Johanna here. So even with just the two, they're going to get... I guess they're going to get a camp first.
Yeah, I might as well. It'll slow down anyone trying to interrupt them collecting the Dragonite. No one's in the top lane as of yet. I think we do have some catapults approaching that keep wall in the top lane, pushing on the side of Cosmos, but it shouldn't matter. Imperius just going to walk up there and try to get this shrine.
So the Siege Giants do keep this lane pressured here in the bot. And Amateur Opponents doesn't have level 16 yet, so they're still trying to catch up. They get it right now. And this is probably about the last moment for Amateur Opponents to make something happen. They got to get some kills, maybe pick up this Dragonite. Because if they let Cosmos get it, I think it's over.
Oh, big Blessed Shield hitting multiple targets, but ETC with a nice power slide there, going to slow it down again. Purification Salvo only going to be able to hit 2 targets this time. ETC, too much damage taken, will fall. Dragonite on the map, and they're turning towards the bottom lane. Aero, this time, I think they want to try to finish it.
They do have a couple of catapults. Tassadar's in the Dragonite, so they do still have their Phoenix to keep that pressure going. But we're going to start by looking for some kills here.
Will they get one? They're trying to look at this Oriole. Butte Holiday skating around. Will get booted away as the Phoenix will fall from Cosmos. Looking for more is Artanis. Can he finish off Deckard Cain? No. Now Cactus Ham warping around. I think Sylvanas is about to fall too. Yes, she will. 3 heroes down, but ETC respawning as we speak. Ariel on the wrong side of dodge, and she's gonna fall. Is there enough of a defense still here? Just 20 seconds left on this DK.
I don't know, Murda. I don't think there's a lot. They don't have the Phoenix, but they have the Dragon Knight. It's not super healthy, but it's healthy enough. And with Imperius and Johanna, they're able to lock down and stun and slow anybody that's coming in.
Stay well and listen. Also still online for Oddity. If anyone tries to interrupt this, I mean, you just throw that out and try to allow your heroes to continue hitting this core just like that. Gonna hit the ETC. 27% on core. There's the mosh pit, however. Ball lightning coming out from Cassia. They're getting some kills. 10%, 8%. Can they clean it up? 2%? No. Job is done. Well done again from Cosmos. They're gonna take a 2-0 lead in this best of 5.
Wow. I have to say, the way that game finished, it felt like Cosmos just wasn't sure when they could end the game, right? Because they had a couple of opportunities. That first core push, they weren't able to... Actually, they weren't even able to get any damage onto the core at that point. So they pulled back, and then they were a little hesitant there in that bot lane too, right? Right before they took that keep down, they used 4 of their ultimates on a disengage, but in reality, they probably could have used 1 and then re-engaged with either the Stay a While or the Blessed Shield. They had the opportunities, and that's where we saw Archon come out, was when they were like, wait, shouldn't we go back? But ultimately, they come in, they keep the pressure going, and they win the game.
They got all 3 Dragon Knights in that one, really led by Silver Jackal playing that Tastar in game number 2. It was impressive. The Shockgraves were stacked up late game, and with a hero like Ariel in support, not the easiest to heal up multiple targets if they're not able to stand near each other for that big heal. And time after time, Tastar was just able to kind of abuse that fact, and got a lot of finishes, 4 in the game, but also 10 in the game for E-Day 15 on the Phoenix. Well played all around there by Cosmos.
Absolutely. What a fantastic way to start this set for Cosmos. But now, I mean, if you're amateur opponents, you're the number 2 seed, you had a great season, and this could be your last game. So this is your opportunity to showcase something, right? Maybe think, you got to consider, do you want something that's a little bit outside of the box, or do you want something that is so absolutely comfortable that you can't possibly lose on it? And it definitely feels like some of the game circumstances we've seen, whether it was the Garrosh and Chen in Tomb of the Spider Queen being a little bit far forward. We've seen the Artanis on the point that was tried to be saved by ETC. Like, some of these moments where maybe they don't have these moments very, very regularly, but we're in playoffs. We're in these coastal finals, and nerves get frayed.
Yeah, if there's any strategy you've been practicing this season, there is no more time to waste. It's time to pull it out. You cannot afford to lose a game 3 in a best of 5 when you're already down 2 games. No secrets left to hide now, Aero.
Well, we do have our third map here. You get the link there?
I do have it. There we go.
All right, so we are going to be going to Volskaya. This was the selection of Cosmos, as amateur opponents wanted to take first pick once again. What do you think? Is this, based on where we've been, is this where you want to be if you're amateur opponents? Is this the map? You know, we've seen Tomb of Spider Queen, we've seen Dragonchar, both very macro, kind of focused maps of getting things on the map and pushing towers down. The objective is similar to Dragonchar. What are your thoughts on this?
Surprised we haven't been to Infernal Shrines yet, seeing as how it's not banned. We've played 3 maps now in this set, and Infernal Shrines is usually the map that teams go to. I haven't watched these teams as frequently as some of the others in Division C this season. Since they're on the West Coast, a bit harder for me to stay up late for some of these matches sometimes. But yeah, Volskaya, that's the other one that teams like to play, so I'm not surprised we're going here. Just would have maybe figured we were going to be heading into Infernal Shrines.
Sure. That said, we do still have Braxis and Towers of Doom available. You know, I gotta tell you, I'm hoping for an amateur opponent's win here. I would love to see some Braxis and or Towers of Doom from these guys.
For sure. Yeah, Braxis being my favorite map.
Well, there you go. Chat, of course, reminding us that you can't have a reverse sweep unless you're down 2-0 in the series. So could this be amateur opponent's opportunity now to pull in a reverse sweep and get themselves the victory?
Well, I see the original Night Shift in chat saying, Cosmos, let's see a 3-game sweep. So it's either the 3-game sweep or the reverse sweep from here. You know, I guess potentially it could go game 4 or win in game 5 for Cosmos, but a couple different sweeps available right now in this position in our best of 5.
Well, get out your broom. Maybe it's one or the other. And did you know, Murda, a few months ago was the only day in like 20 years that you could stand a broom up on its end. Did you know that?
Really? What?
It's not actually true, but there was a meme going on about, you know, you take a broom, you can stand it up because the way that gravity works, yada yada. It's all BS. Because you can just do that because it's got a low center of gravity. You can just do that with your broom right now. But it was kind of a funny thing to see everybody showing their broom standing up on social media.
I do know there's like a certain day when like the sun is like in the perfect spot in the sky where it like won't cast any shadows, and that's a thing. I know it's a super rare event. And I don't know if it happens in every portion of the world. I think if you're just near the equator.
I was going to say, you'd have to be in certain areas of the world, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that'd be interesting to see. No shadows.
Well, we're sticking with these same bands, Murda. If it's not broke, don't fix it, right?
Interesting.
I mean, I think both of those are just like on Dragonshire. I think Li Ming gets a lot of value here.
I mean, they're obviously not wanting to play against it. I called that in game 1. The Ana, I guess, same thing. They're going to make the ban happen on Cassia this time. They were able to play it there in game number 2. But looking very familiar and not changing up the formula they've brought into this match. Even down 2 games.
Well, the change will likely come from their first pick. Do we maybe see, instead of kind of those tanks that are more susceptible to CC and damage, do we maybe see a Johanna pickup here?
Well, they haven't played the Johanna yet tonight. Game 1, it was Garrosh. Game 2, it was ETC. Now, Game 3, just as predicted, it will be the Johanna, Aero.
I have to say, I'm feeling a little bit like an Oracle tonight.
Well, speaking of Oracle.
What's happening? All right, I'm going to go buy a lottery ticket.
Well, we've definitely formulated the meta here in this Division C West Finals matchup. There's the Anduin for Butte Holiday, a hero she might have wanted in game number 2, and it's going to pair nicely with this Greymane. It's going to give Sonics Bros an opportunity to get out of any fight with that leap of faith.
Not only that, but the Light Bomb can really help to stop a mosh pit, as long as, of course, you're not the one that's being moshed. Leap of Faith can help with that as well. Tassadar, though, has gotten a lot of value, and you mentioned in the last game the damage potential coming out from Tassadar, and it's huge. I mean, if you get that Shock Ray stacked up, and then you get, at level 16, that 8% damage bonus, I mean, you're doing 15-20% of anybody's health with 1 Q.
Yeah. Silver Jackal looked really good last game. I think truly it was the MVP, although you did see a lot of kills coming out from the Phoenix. Most of those were because Tassadar was able to whittle down those health bars so far. Will be a ban onto Deckard Cain. This is the support pick 2 games in a row for Oddity. You're going to have to make a swap here in game number 3.
And I like that ban. I mean, Deckard gets a lot of value on Volskaya Foundry anyway, and he's been doing really well tonight, so taking that off the table is a huge value to them. Oddity instead picking up Alex Straza, not a super common pick in NGS this season, but in the past she's been really strong on this map.
Well, it's the double Protoss synergy again, Tassadar and Phoenix, just like we just saw in game number 2. these are the two that led them to that big, and it was a big victory last game on Dragonshire. This is scary to see again. It's going to be the Kael'thas in response, as well as the Malthael for Saint Terminator.
That's, I mean, I said it last game too, but I really like what we see out of amateur opponents with these. You know, Kael'thas is great on this map. Johanna's great on this map. Anduin can be pretty solid. Greymane can do a lot of damage to the protector, as can Malthael. They get the last rights potential, and there's the Imperius coming back out. So I do like what amateur opponents has, but I also have to say Cosmos, ETC, Imperius, Tassadar. I mean, that's a combination of death.
Yeah, it's a bigger, beefier front line. Speaking of beef, you got the cow, and then you get 3 games in a row. Nate gonna be playing this Imperius that's already 2 victories tonight. The only hero in the matchup that has not lost yet, and has gotten 2 wins, I guess I should say. Imperius could be exactly what they need, but we got to talk about Alexstrasza versus Kael'thas. Basically, every time you drop those healing circles, Kael'thas has a big target to aim for, Aero, and that could hurt the healing of Oddity here in game number 3.
For sure, and with that level 7 talent, the Burned Flesh could do a lot of work into that team, getting 8% on top of the Flame Strike damage. It's going to be a tough fight for both of these teams. We're going into game 3. It could be the last one for amateur opponents. It could be the one that sends Cosmos into the grand finals. It's time to go.
Well, let's introduce this team on the left-hand side. Once again, playing the support position tonight will be Butte Holiday on the Anduin. Sonics Bro is going to play the Greymane. Here's Kael'thas, played by Cactus Ham. Saint Terminator on the solo lane, Malthael. And Duck Rogers playing the 3rd tank of the night for themselves. It's Johanna this time. Give it up once again for the number 2 seed amateur opponents.
Alrighty, and Cosmos up 2-0 in this best of 5. We've got Oddity playing Alexstrasza here, Silver Jackal on the Tassadar, E-Day 15 on Phoenix. We got Nay on Imperius and Sierras on the ETC.
Well, we're getting the same builds out of Tassadar and Phoenix. I already see that. And look at this, started up by Alexstrasza. She wants the E-Quest. This is a feast or famine build, and it's going to be potentially a lot of damage for Alexstrasza.
A lot of damage, getting that Dragon Queen up more often, and that's going to help them on these control points to make sure that they're ready to go. Probably
not
multiple
only that,
times.
Aero, wait, it's also extra slows for the Phoenix.
Good point. Although it slows either way, but having that 60% slow is still going to make things a lot better.
Yeah, the cooldown reduction, right?
Right. Votes are in, and chat still behind amateur opponents. And, you know, last game it was not the First Blood team that won, so they threw off my statistics there, Murda.
Oh, I had picked the amateur opponents in game number 2 as well. So, chat, I feel you. You guys are keeping the faith here in game 3. You want to see the reverse sweep? Let's see if they can make it happen.
Well, both teams do pick up their fortification camp pretty early here, so that'll be up for them in the middle of that first control point. And we've got Imperius coming up, looking for Cactus Ham. Oh, the leap of faith.
This is exactly why Butte Holiday likes the hero. She's got the "okay, you suck, I'ma save you" button, and that was just beautifully played.
Oh man, and you know how many times in these last couple of games might that have made the difference, right? Whether it was the Tomb of the Spider Queen or even that one Artanis play that we were just talking about on Dragonshire. Maybe those go a completely different way.
Well, both teams now fighting over the support camp, but better positioning being built up here by Duck Rogers, holding back 2 heroes with this Johanna. Sentinels down, but Ciara's the one on the point currently. Sonics Bros trying to stand in here on the Greymane, hopping into Worgen form, going to get first blood of the game, and that will turn into a biotic emitter as well. Butte Holiday going to grab hold of that, but there's a turret drop. The Johanna's pretty low, needs to be careful. Will make it out alive. Well done by the amateur opponents that time.
They're coming out strong. We've got Cosmos, at least we've got Alexstrasza heading back because her healing is significantly reduced when she doesn't have any health. And coming out strong, they do get that biotic emitter, but they also get the turret taken out. So that's going to help them a ton on this control point now. They've got total item advantage.
Yeah, and they will be able to get their second one momentarily, second turret that is. So not only do they have a level lead, they have an item lead. They have a little bit more pressure in the top lane because they got their siege camp a bit earlier. That's going to give them room to put some damage onto this mid wall. Just a little bit of damage, but damage nonetheless.
And every little bit helps. I mean, that bottom tower now being at about half health is only 1 or 2 auto attacks plus the Q away from death from the protector. That's dead almost instantly.
Cosmos, they cleared up the siege camp in the top lane, pushing against them. Theirs is still pushing, however. 56 rather, onto this control point A already for the amateur opponents, but someone eventually might want to go up to that top lane to deal with that camp because there's a minion wave there as well. It's going to get a bit of damage onto that wall, but they are content with trying to get this protector first and foremost.
And they will get the channel up to the 99% mark here. Alexstrasza popping Dragon Queen. Neg going in after Kael'thas isn't quite able to get it, but so much damage onto Alexstrasza and ETC. Dragon Queen getting some value onto the Malthael, rather, but both of those heroes will fall. But it's a 2 for 2. Imperius going back in, and Johanna's very low. Has to consider backing out here. They've got the 99%. They can relatively safely pull back and still have the opportunity to come back in.
Yeah, they just didn't fight in the biotic emitter. It was thrown down by Anduin, but heroes died outside of the range of it. Maybe a bit of a miscue. Might end up paying with their life here. E-Day gonna warp with that living bomb attached. Had to be careful. Maybe would have finished off the Tastar, who was pretty low. First protector of the game does go over to the amateur opponents.
And they're heading straight top. I think they could have taken a moment, especially with the minion waves pushed so far back. They could have taken out that wall, gotten that XP in a couple of attacks. But they're focusing heavily on making sure they get to the top and taking out this well as quickly as possible. Greymane and Johanna have to be a little bit careful here because with 4 of them there, they could turn them quickly. But Tassadar taking all of the brunt from that protector.
Yeah, big laser beam at the feet of Silver Jackal is going to need one of those abundance heals from Alexstrasza. Will get it. And with only 11, make it 10% remaining on that protector. They're going to rotate towards the mid lane, get whatever value they can with maybe one more laser beam onto this mid wall.
Maybe? Yeah, they're being really careful. Anduin and Kael'thas are in the protector, so they don't want to be too close to that wall and give ETC the opportunity to set up a power slide combo.
Well, interesting pick. I didn't mention this at level 1 from the Malthael. It will not be on a Pale Horse. Instead, it is Fear the Reaper. Can allow him to pass through some targets, maybe avoid some body blocking later on from Imperius and/or ETC. But interesting to not see the rotational speed advantage that On a Pale Horse can provide.
I'm going to come back to what I just thought because it's going to be hilarious. But we got level 10s coming up here in amateur opponents very soon. And because of that, I think we're going to see Cosmos try to pick up this support camp as quickly as possible before that level 10.
This time they will be able to grab the support camp. It's going to be in the hands of Phoenix. A couple camps still available on the map. Both of those siege camps, as Imperius going to make the rotation down to the bottom. Malthael is at mid, helping collect some soak for the amateur opponents as both teams now achieve their level 10 ranks. It will be the light bomb for Anduin as expected, Aero.
So, Murda, I feel like I've got the answer here. The problem is Cosmos wins this game, right? Because Malthael has Fear the Reaper. But Cosmos has the answer. Do you know what they need?
Oh god, what is it?
They need more cowbell.
Oh, stop. Stop. Stop.
So anyway, we do have the siege camp here picked up. It's ready to go.
It's actually really good. I give you credit. I give you credit.
I hope Rex out there. Oh man. So siege camps are being picked up here by both teams. Ultimately, it's ready to go, and it looks like they're both holding on to them.
Everyone's smart. Look at them. So smart.
Right? So we do have any other... So it is the... what is this called? Lifebinder. from Alexstrasza instead of Cleansing Flame. So she's not going to have that get out of jail free card. But Blessed Shield coming in with the Light Bomb. They get the stun onto 2. ETC coming in with a Mosh Pit. Phoenix going to get that Purification Salvo out there. Oddity very low. So just the 1 kill onto Tassadar so far. And Lifebinder coming out, giving a little bit of healing to the ETC. So a few, actually all of the ultimates here from amateur opponents in just the 1 kill. But it's still a big kill. Getting that kill onto Tassadar, he's a huge portion of their damage.
Well, they took a nice fight. They knew the Imperius wasn't nearby. They took the 5v4 and made good use of it, killing off that Tassadar, getting their 4th kill of the game, but they're still behind in XP. Who do you credit? I guess the Imperius. If you take a look at the XP chart, Nade doing a fantastic job here, 8 minutes in.
And Cosmos, even being down the Tassadar, they are on the point first.
Good wall. You can't iron skin through that. Johanna has to be careful from here. Now Duck Roger is getting stunned there. Ciara is low, trying to walk into that abundance. Won't be able to make it in. Triple spear from Imperius. Is it enough with the help of Tassadar? Can't get a finish yet. 8 health, finally gets one. Saint Terminator also low, as it's a double kill, a 2-for-1 exchange, and a turret dropped in favor of Cosmos.
And we see the ping saying, pick this thing up. So Alexstrasza does eventually get around to picking that up. And that was a, oh my goodness, amount of damage. Like the living bombs coming out, the Imperius, Tassadar. Honestly, amateur opponents is lucky they didn't lose more.
Well, they could potentially be losing more in just a moment. Already almost 60% on the channel for Imperius standing on control point B. ETC is back on the map to help support this team. And speaking of support, they're on that support camp right now, Aero.
Sorry, I was checking. Somebody said something was muted, so I was trying to make sure nothing was muted. Doesn't look like it. But they're going in here, amateur opponents. They're going to find Imperius. I guess he was looking elsewhere on the map. Big gravity lapse.
Oh.
Lifebinder, though, is it going to be enough? And it is a full heal.
And there's the Lifebinder now. Purification Salvo with that mosh pit. Another great save from Butte Holiday with that leap of faith. Keeping Malthael alive, but can't help get the Johanna out as well. Will be a nice pickup there. A good kill as Ide is able to warp away with that living bomb attached. Will end up being the first protector of the game for Cosmos.
And I mean, they've looked really strong here, but the combos in that engagement just not working out in their favor here. They had the Imperius. That guy was completely dead. He's now officially dead.
Yeah, not enough life binders in the tank for her. 10 seconds away, but you know, they were close.
Oh, they were muting me. Got it.
Oh,
that's what they were saying. Muted because of the Fear the Reaper and Cowbell. Okay, fair enough. All right. Take a look at these talents here as we head to the bottom lane. Setting up for the next control point. So we do have the for Imperius here, the 13, but ETC now having to pull back, does knock them away, trying to stay in the heal, but oh my goodness.
Yeah, not that time. Great light bomb from Anduin. ETC really can't run away when that thing's attached to any hero that's close by. 30-second death timer is going to get some damage out onto their own wall when they have this protector. That's the last thing you want to see when you have the power play on the map. And they're going to parlay that into a turret steal as well. 5 heroes nearby, and they definitely want to make sure they end up stealing that, and they will.
And they're going to head back into the bot lane. I'm a little bit surprised they might not have considered just coming in, dropping that turret, going with Greymane, and seeing if they couldn't get this down with all 5 of them. But they're going to instead pick up their fortification camp and continue toward 16. They're a little bit behind on that, but certainly much closer than they were about 60 seconds ago.
Level 16s for both teams. Look at this build continue. The Soul Rip for Malthael. He's got 4 talents ready to go. It's going to be tough if he can end up getting in a good fight and be able to survive through it with all those extra Qs, but now being speared out, has to be saved again by Anduin. And Saint Terminator is going to hop on that mountain, say thank you to his healer for saving the day yet again.
So not quite able to get the well. They were real close, but now Cosmos doing a reverse here. They're going in onto amateur opponents. There's the route out onto ETC. I thought I heard the mosh, but it just didn't happen. I guess not.
Life Binder is going to keep Imperius alive. Last Right's not going to get any value at all because of that Life Binder, but Nate's going to go down anyway. Oh my god, Tassadar is a hero. Might get this as well. Does he have a shock ray? Not quite. Malthael able to run away. Fear the Reaper actually saving the day, Aero.
And it's a 2-for-1, and oh, Cactus Ham, though, standing in the Psystorm, almost made it an even trade. Oddity and E-Day having to pull back, though. They have almost no health as the Abundance giving him something. Of course, Abundance doesn't do a lot for Phoenix, right? It's about 200 health.
Electric Fence is going to try to slow this down as we look at our Tassadar player at 160 stacks on this shock ray. It is really starting to hurt now. My god. You got to be careful anytime Tassadar is nearby at this point.
Yeah, especially with that 8% now at level 16. Was it Shock Lance? Thermal Lance, rather, to the first person he hits. That's going to hurt anybody. Johanna, she'll go down 20-25% of her health with that.
Another great support camp take here from the amateur opponents. They're going to have just the one biotic emitter. I don't know what items are on the other side. Do they have a turret right now? I don't think they do. I think everyone's dropped all their items except that one emitter we just saw. And whatever happens with this camp, we're seeing them take right now.
Yep. So 1 and 1. One turret, one biotic emitter on either not on either side, but respectively. Phoenix with 2 hit points, they said. Yeah, I mean, you got a shield. That's the whole point of Phoenix, right?
Yeah, it was like -2 health almost. It was very close.
Duck going in, dismounting some Cosmos players there with the flashlight. And we got Control Point C coming up at 5% right now. Malthael sitting on there. And this is always the one that becomes a real challenge here for teams. These conveyor belts just cause chaos. And, you know, it could be a regular sushi line. They could find that moment.
Is Breck here?
He's got to be, right? He's got to be.
Duck Rogers pops out Iron Skin early. Has to be careful because Tassadar in the face. Big shock rays once again. And there is the Purification Salvo. Is it enough? No, because Iron Skin's back online. Leap of Faith not going to be able to keep Greymane up that time. But the turnaround, Light Bomb coming out. Lifebinder not able to save through the last rites of Malthael. It's a 2-for-1 in favor of amateur opponents. Make it 3-for-1, and they could get more Aero.
They are getting more. It's a full team wipe for amateur opponents, and all the while they had this top lane pressure going. They get this fort in the top, and now bot control point is going to be theirs. They can take this fort. They're in a fantastic place now, and they've got level 20s coming up.
The only unfortunate part is they don't have their Greymane to siege right now. Their #1 sieger in this composition. They do make a smart move, leaving the Malthael back. He's not good at sieging. He can kill minions, but not going to do much to structures. And they want to get these forts down quick while they can.
Well, still a few seconds here before anybody's back from Cosmos. So they're going to start getting some damage onto this wall. And opening this wall gives them now the opportunity to take the Protector right to the keep. With level 20s... I don't see any way they don't at least get this keep here, especially with Greymane coming up.
I mean, this is what they've been waiting for all night. An advantage over their opponents in the late game. And what an advantage this is going to be. Malthael and Anduin inside the robot, already through the wall, ready to get the first keep of the game.
And, you know, amateur opponents has to be careful here. They don't have their Anduin. They do get the shield from the Protector, but ETC getting destroyed here. Lifebinder coming up, but they get the kill onto Kael'thas. So 1-for-1 so far, but now Tassadar here getting that big damage, has the -20 spell armor every auto attack. And they're looking to finish this keep. I'm not sure that they have enough in the tank to get it from the Protector. Is Greymane getting caught by Nay? Can the Protector get a shield out? Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, that's great play once again. Imperius, 3 games in a row we've seen this hero. They don't end up getting the keep. They might lose the Malthael. No, Leap of Faith really good again from Anduin, but the spear is there again. Another Leap of Faith, however. Butte Holiday. Someone put some easy claps in chat because Anduin is on fire.
And you know, I have to call out, that was such a great play, having the Malthael get out early, kind of head up a little bit away from the group so that they got a little bit split. The Protector dispersed them, which gave Anduin a little bit of a clear. And because Malthael was such a bait target, just get the leap of faith and then you're fine. And Anduin now is suddenly in a position where he can get away. I don't think that happens if they both come out at the same time.
Johanna gonna try to slow down this attack coming from Cosmos. They're yet to get down any forts in this map here on Volskaya Foundry, but now with level 20s achieved, gonna look to put some damage onto this mid fort, but is it enough? Do they have enough poke here, Aero?
It's still got half to go. They're gonna need to kill somebody to make this work. Isolating the Johanna with the fence, though, just not quite enough. It was close.
We do have all of our heroics online, so both teams potentially ready to fight. And with the kill count at 15-9, it's been amateur opponents ahead in this one so far.
I do want to call out a very interesting level 20 here, which we don't see a ton of. We got Force Barrier coming from Tassadar. So he's got those more walls more often, and they do damage. That could make all the difference in the world for these guys. However, Terminator going in has the life bomb, big stun. Lifebinder gonna keep Sierras alive, but not the Phoenix.
It's
Big
the double
kill,
Lifebinder. Last Right's coming out. Biotic Emitter is there, but the Mosh Pit gonna slow down anyone from picking it up. Johanna's gonna fall. No, she's got Indestructible. Still up for at least a few more seconds. There's the Biotic Emitter picked up, and she'll eventually fall. There she goes. Sonic's Bros, the only one still on the map. It's a 4-for-1 in favor of Cosmos, ready to siege with everything except their Phoenix on the map. Bottom keep fell.
So once again, we saw this in game number 1. Bottom keep going down in favor of amateur opponents. And so that does give them now the potential win condition for this game. But they have to win the next team fight to make that happen. If they lose, even if it's a little bit of a loss, if it's a 3-2, they might still end up finding themselves in a bad position. But a couple of catapults here are going to be putting damage onto this core. And if nobody goes back and clears it, it'll be a little
bit. Yeah, look, one of their catapults is actually targeting it. Lucky for them. And they also have Phoenix back. So shielding still on their core. And this will be a keep on the other side down? Yeah, I think so.
And there it goes. What do you... this has got to be the last control point right here, Murda. Control point A.
Yeah.
No significant conveyor belts to cause issues. And
well,
we got ETC hanging.
Here's something. Yeah, the mosh pit 30 seconds away. That's a big deal.
That's true, but they've got the death metal.
Well, if I'm Cosmos, I'm not taking the fight until that mosh pit's ready to go. I'm going to give up some time. 15 seconds. You got plenty there. Oh, unless you find this Johanna right here. Spear's not going to connect. Great iron skin. They do bait out a turret as well, but they drop a biotic emitter. They're looking for a fight here. Still 5 seconds from a mosh pit.
Well, there's the Lifebinder. We heard the cursed bullet. Nay missing with the spear, but there's the mosh onto 2. We're going to see the leap of faith again. This time Johanna getting out. Not enough to get the Malthael, however. Duck Rogers proccing the Indestructible is Greymane falling. ETC going down as well. Has that death mosh. But Alex Straza going down. So it's 3-3 right now. Can Phoenix get Cactus Ham, though? He's warping away.
No, but look what they got. You forgot about it. They didn't forget about it.
Oh my gosh, they got the... I wasn't even paying attention to that.
Oh, no! Oh, maybe they don't win now. They both get in the robot. This isn't enough damage. It's Malthael here. Really good at clearing out these protectors. And already right on top, he has Die Alone. This thing's going to drop health quick.
That's absolutely bonkers. Now, he is fighting into the minion waves here, so that Soul Rip isn't getting the extra damage, but now that they're gone, it will. But, I mean, it's got a minute and then some left, but they're just not going to be able to do anything with that. There's still 30 seconds. They're not going to be able to put that in on the core. I don't know what I was talking about. Apparently, Control Point A, not enough to finish this game.
Oh, this is going to be one of the rare Volskaya Foundry matchups where we go to potentially a 5th control point. I've heard of 6 before, but 5 is pretty rare in its own right. We got an exciting one on our hands, Aero.
I can't remember if it was Stoic or Taco. One of those two was saying that.
I think it was Taco.
Yeah, like he's had 6, but he also said he had a 7, and I can't imagine like even a 4th protector is usually enough to just go win the game. It does so much damage to the core. Every Q is like 10% of its health.
They're just going to be able to clear up some waves and try to even up these XP counts. Just about level 23 here for Cosmos, which will tie it up at 23. They're not going to get any further structures down with the help of this protector. 5 seconds is all that remains. And there goes Alex Straza popping Dragon Queen.
Well, they're looking for the fight here. They do have Mosh available. Abundance is down. So that's going to be another 12 or so seconds, 10 seconds after that timer. And Dragon Queen's done.
Was that a misclick?
Maybe. Curse Bullet
like
coming out.
must have been.
Lifebinder's out onto Nay, but the last rights onto ETC doesn't get the kill, but they get him shortly after. Mosh Pit coming out onto Malthael, and no leap of faith there. Greymane walking into the death metal. Duck getting the blind here onto Tassadar. And of course, because he took the Force Wall upgrade, there's no permanent Archon. So 1 for 1 so far here as the teams look to go ahead and pause. A lot of pressure in the bot lane, though.
Yeah, bottom lane starting to pressure up there. I noticed that as well. 2 catapults here, a nice little minion wave. Phoenix going to make the rotation before that becomes much more of an issue, but wide open is this fortification camp and will be stolen away by the amateur opponents.
Some pressure mounting in the mid lane, so they'll have to deal with that as well. And we do have ETC coming up in 20 seconds. I think they're going to head to this support camp, but this gets a little sketchy. Now, they don't have ETC, so it might be okay. Johanna's a little bit beefier than the Imperius and has Unstoppable, although that Unstoppable is now used. Not quite in the same position to be able to stay on that point.
Yeah, oh, this is somewhat surprising. Playing it carefully.
That could make all the difference, too. That biotic emitter, 40% health and mana, is a huge difference when you're talking about 5 heroes, especially that ETC and Imperius getting the big burst of healing. Could make or break their ability to take that next team fight.
Bottom lane continuing to mount, and we see everyone from Cosmos here in the top lane trying to steal away this siege camp. This will give them a lot of pressure in the top lane because they already have their own siege camp nearby. Big rotation's going to come out from the amateur opponents to deal with it. And yeah, someone's going to have to go back. This is late game, 26 minutes in. These catapults hurt.
It's just 1, so it's going to get taken out, but it is mounting pressure over time, right? And when they get a few, I think it's 3 is when it starts to stack up and potentially put permanent core damage, maybe even end the game, depending on your overall pressure.
Control point E coming up next, Aero.
How many letters are we going to get to? I don't know. It looks like we're going for the old bush gank, but Cosmos is being defensive about their location on this. They're taking the defensive way through, although Imperius might be coming into the trap.
Uh-oh, here he comes. Gonna check it out with the body right in his face. There's the cursed bullet, last rights, and a quick finish onto Imperius. Walked right into the trap. Exactly what the amateur opponents wanted. Do they go core? No, they want to try to get this protector and win it from there.
And given the core mechanics, I think that they almost have to do that. They have to get, another kill or have the vehicle in their favor to really be able to finish this. But if they can get this this protector rather, I mean, I see no way that they don't just walk right to the core and win the game.
Well, 2 catapults mid lane on the core right now. No one going back in defense. They really can't afford to leave this. Oracle going to reveal who's on the point right now. They do see the Malthael there as Kael'thas is actually going to split away from this fight. Now we have a 4v4 in the top lane, Aero.
And Mosh is available. And Kael'thas is one of the primary ways to interrupt that Mosh. So coming in, we've got the light bomb probably a little bit early. Might have wanted that for the mosh pit, but getting the stun out there, Mosh onto 2, including Anduin. Phoenix, however, falling. They've got the biotic emitter out, trying to save anybody they can. Big condemn out of Johanna, and she's right on Oddity. Looking at Silver Jackal, a double kill, make it a quad kill overall. And Amateur Opponents is going to take this Protector, and they're going to take it to the core, baby.
Yeah, we're going to game 4. What a way to get away by Malthuel. He was the big bait in that fight, never ended up falling. I think he had like 50 health at one point, but barely survived. It's going to be 40 plus seconds until 3 of these heroes are back on the map, and this Protector does so much damage 28 minutes in. Definitely going to be the end here, just Imperius left to defend.
I don't think he can do enough, especially getting caught by the gravity lapse and having catapults shoot him there. I do think that, you know, Amateur Opponents could have walked through that top lane. The wall was already down. They could have just walked by the keep. It doesn't matter. This core is gone. Amateur Opponents taking game number 3, and we're going to game number 4, and you can't get to game number 5 without a game number 4.
You got that right. So it won't be a 3-game sweep for Cosmos. Potentially, though, we still have a reverse sweep available for the Amateur Opponent.
Indeed. Now, what did they say in Monty Python? Thou shalt not proceed to 3 unless going to... I don't remember. It's been...
Aero, you already got yelled at for your SNL reference.
But it was so good. It was so good. Oh, man. Well, let's show the stats here. We'll show the talents, although the talents have been up most of the game. You know, fantastic play out of Amateur Opponents. They really had a lot of control that game. Cosmos had one... Basically, they had one really strong team fight that they won. I think it was a full wiper, everybody but Greymane. So they got that push into the keep in mid lane. But really, the rest of this story was primarily about Amateur Opponents, and they get the victory because of it.
It looks like our teams are going to need a short 5-minute break, Aero.
All right. Well, you know what? I think our casters could use a 5-minute break. What do you think?
There you go. Hey, I couldn't agree more.
All right. Well, everybody, we'll be back in about 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We're in the middle of an amazing set, and there's as many as 2 more games to go. We'll be right back.
Impressive, Archer. But you'll need to do better than that.
You have no idea what I am capable of.
Good. Because you must be ready for anything. You show promise, Hanzo. Well done. But greater challenges still await us.
I believe we are ready.
It's time to find out.
There is an eternal battle between light and darkness. The high heavens and the burning hells. Now, that conflict continues in a new arena. For the very heart of the Nexus is about to begin. Which side will you choose?
Welcome back, everybody, to Nexus Gaming Series After Dark.
After Dark.
I don't know.
Yo, I gotta say, as we're loading in here, Braxis Holdout, I gotta say, that game number 3, MVP-worthy performance from Butte Holiday playing that Anduin. If Anduin does not draw another ban, I would be very surprised. That was top tier. She saved so many of those moments in the fight, in the match, I should say, in most of those fights. Really good, really impressive. Definitely my MVP there in game 3. And yeah, if you're Cosmos, you gotta ban it out here on Braxis, I think.
I agree. There's nothing more to say than that. I'm gonna show us the maps here real quick, just as a reminder. So Cosmos picking all of the maps tonight. They started with Tomb of the Spider Queen. They won that one. They took us to Dragonshire. They won that one. They then took us to Volskaya. 30 minutes later, almost, amateur opponents, bringing home the W. The other maps that have been banned here, amateur opponents, they banned out Alterac Pass and Sky Temple. Cosmos banned out Battlefield of Eternity and Cursed Hollow. So game 4, there are only 2 maps left. If this goes over to amateur opponents, it's going to be Towers of Doom or Infernal Shrine. So I'm rooting for a game number 4.
Aero, first time tonight, Li Ming is not banned out by the amateur opponents.
You think they'll take it? Their first pick.
I mean, it's Braxis. Again, similar to Tomb of the Spider Queen, wave clear is a huge priority here on this map. It's going to be another ban onto Rexar from Cosmos. They banned this as well on Dragonshire. Man, unless if Cosmos really wants the Li Ming, this is not a great map for her.
True, but they banned her on all the others too. I like the Johanna pick. I think Johanna really helped them massively in that game. Yes, the Anduin did a lot of work for them, but I think that without the Johanna, they were in a really tough spot. The condemns with the punish, all that was really helpful, and ultimately with the Kael'thas combo at the end of the game, that's how they win.
It has to be Cassia here. You can't leave Cassia open with Johanna already picked. There it is, ETC Cassia.
So ETC going over once again to Cosmos. This is their third game, right? With ETC?
Third game.
I think the first game had him? Yeah. E-Day. Switching over to the Cassia. So I think this is their first chance at having Cassia, right? Because it was the other side? Yeah.
Correct. Yes, correct. Greymane, he is currently 2-1 in this matchup. Wait, no, sorry, excuse me. 2-0 in this matchup. He won game 1 for Cosmos, just won game 3 for the amateur opponents, and Sonics Bros gonna hop right on the Worgen yet again. Back-to-back games for him.
Yeah, they had him banned out in game number 2. And picking up the Kael'thas once again, going into the Johanna, that's going to be a lot of value for them. And these control points.
Look who's banned. What'd I say?
Who is that? Is that Banduin?
Yeah, you can't let that Anduin through. It was way too good. Will this be another support ban? It might be. It might be. Mephisto. Okay, so we saw this banned out game 3 by Cosmos. This time, amateur opponents gonna ban out the Lord of Hatred.
Crafty Trent says ban to win. There you go. Rek, did you hear my cowbell comment? I know I saw you out there. Tell me you heard it.
God. Don't remind them, Aero.
But it was so good. All right. Valkymer, I will get you some alpha time here probably after the game because she's in the other room.
There she is.
Well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out why they're banning out this Li Ming.
Brightwing?
Well,
Brightwing?
She's definitely picked up in popularity, not a crazy amount.
Well, feel me, it's actually pretty good against Greymane. If he comes in and tries to get on any targets, that Polymorph is really good at shutting him down. Stukov's going to be played again. This is a great map for Stukov for Butte Holiday, and without a lot of CC on the opposite end, a much better spot here than it was in game number 1 on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
You know, the other one that Brightwing is really good for is Chet.
This is Imperious again. There's no doubt in my mind. It's already been 3 games. Why not 4? And you already won against the Chen. Do it again. Yrel. Okay. I said game 1 that Yrel might have been the better pick, right? We'll find out.
Yep. I was going to say, I would be surprised if it was Imperious for this map specifically, just because holding on to that control point, I feel like is a little bit harder for Imperious to do. He doesn't have quite the same level of sustain as Chen. He can go out of mana. Chen just doesn't. So I think that the Yrel pick is a big positive. Are they better on the Yrel than the Imperious? I don't know. But like you said, we'll find out if this is the better pick.
Yeah, Aero, as you get that game number 4 pull open, I'm going to give my take on who's going to win this. Looking at these drafts, I think, Kael'thas 2-0 tonight. Greymane 2-0 tonight. I think it's going to be a game number 5 up next. I'm giving this one to the amateur opponents. I like the Chen in the top lane. Saint Terminator is going to have a little bit easier of a time holding this point, I think, than the Yrel will. And yeah, Greymane's he's a good hero. Kael'thas. I'm giving it to the amateur opponents, dude.
Yeah, and Zul Rules there in chat bringing up the elephant in the room, which is if Cosmos ever has a Zerg wave to deal with, they're gonna have a tough time.
Well, let's start introducing some of these players. We got the Greymane, and we played once again by Sonics Bro 33. Cactus Ham on the Kael'thas. Duck Rogers been playing tank tonight, this time once again on the Johanna. Butte Holiday back on Admiral Stukov. And in the top lane, it'll be Chen, played by Saint Terminator. Give it up for the number 2 seed, Amateur Opponents.
All right, and our number 4 seed, Cosmos. We've got Sierra's playing ETC. Silver Jackal going to be on the Li Ming band all night long. Oddity on the Brightwing. Looking forward to that one. E-Day 15 on Cassia, and Yrel going to be played by Nay.
Well, a new hero for Nay this time. Will Yrel be able to punch their ticket to the Division C Grand Finals, or will we be going to a game number 5? We're finally getting a look at this Li Ming from Silver Jackal. It's been banned out all night. Will it pay off here on Braxis Holdout?
And it's going to be tough to call. It might just work out with some mosh pits, but Sierra's getting very low. Greymane diving in, has the spell armor from Brightwing. Likely that spell armor just saved the ETC. He had just about 60 health. And without that, I believe the Greymane probably would have taken him out.
Gutsy build coming out from the Brightwing player, and this is exactly how I like to player. The Polymorph build, already seeing greater Polymorph at level 1, and that's going to be used to help maintain this Greymane every time he Dark Flights in.
And Cosmos was looking to maybe come up and check that Siege Camp, but just a little bit too late. Siege Camp picked up very quickly thanks to the damage of Greymane there. And that'll give them the opportunity now to head up into the top, maybe get this Bruiser Camp. And everything paused. There we go.
Early camp's a great look for the blue team already, although their Hellbats are going to be cleared out quickly in that bottom lane. The help of this Bruiser Camp for Chen is going to be tremendous in helping him win that matchup against Yrel. Currently, bottom beacon in possession of Cosmos, and Nay, under some pressure, has to start moving away and allow Chen to finally win that exchange on the top beacon.
Then bot, it's currently over to Cosmos, and with the 2 up top, they may be able to get a little push down here in the bot lane. And this echoes a little bit back toward game number 2 on Dragonshire, when they were getting some extra early game siege potential. So we'll have to see how that turns out, if it works out in their favor this time like it did in game 2.
Well, as I was expecting, Yrel not able to clear out that camp all too quickly. It's getting some damage onto that wall as this bottom lane push coming in from the Amateur Opponents, trying to get on this bottom beacon as well. Now with ETC being pressured out, they have to be careful, but Li Ming still willing to step in, looking for some damage.
And why not? She's full health. Has no worries at all. Sierra's getting in the silence there. Almost was a little bit more of a problem, but is able to hit that face melt and knock everybody back. We did get Rockstar once again from ETC, so that extra movement speed, as getting healed right back up by that phase shift from Oddity.
Well, Yrel's starting to win that top lane if Cosmos can get on the bottom as well, but they're not able to. Chen gonna switch the script up there and once again regain possession for the Amateur Opponents. Still 0% to 0%, and we have a disconnect.
Oh, well, we'll see. We'll see if they pause or if they're just kidding.
Just kidding. Quickly back in.
And
we gotta pause anyway. Just make sure everything's good. This is a very important match. Of course, you want to make sure everyone is playing with a good connection, so I don't mind pausing. I'm sure you don't either, Aero.
Not at all. Looks like, according to Butte Holiday, the potato strikes again. Terminator, the one who left the game, does show rejoin, so just kind of testing the connection to make sure that everything is okay. Stir some beans in. Beans with potatoes?
Yeah, what?
Is that a thing?
Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Beans and potatoes.
Maybe it
Do you
depends
put
on
like
the type of
potatoes
beans?
in your chili? Do people do that?
I don't know.
I don't think I'd...
Oh, we might be ready. Yeah, here we go.
All right, we're in. And that'll be 2 beacons in possession of Cosmos early. Can Urel continue winning that top matchup? She has a lot of health this time. And doing rather well. I think she will win that. Knocking Chen around.
Yeah, Chen's going to have to pull back there. Urel has
50%.
no mana, but it didn't matter. What'd you say?
I was saying already at 50%. Now it's 70%. Do they end up just taking it the whole way? I think they might.
Well, they might. Never mind. Never mind. I was going to say they might catch this Cassia.
100-0. So, hey, you know, I said Li Ming not great on this map, but if you win 100-0, sure, why not? You don't have to worry about clearing out too much Zerg this time. Urel's gonna solo push up top. Here comes a big defense. They got 4 heroes here. Just the Gray Mane left in the bottom lane. They'll be able to clear up this Zerg at the wall. I don't think it's gonna get through anything onto that fort, but they will lose that entire wall, Aero.
Yeah, and they're gonna get a lot of damage down in the bot lane here as well.
Oh, they want the fountain.
Li Ming with the big auto attack damage onto the fountain, getting it eventually, saving the mana.
You okay, Aero? You need me to pick up here? Okay.
I inhaled at the wrong moment.
We all been there.
I'm gonna mute. You take a second. I gotta cough this out.
All right. I'm following your camera though. You gotta help me out here. All right, so they do get the wall top lane, wall bottom lane as well. So pretty decent value at the first Zerg wave as we're 7-7, all tied up on XP. Still no first blood, and we've been seeing a lot of early first bloods tonight in our first 3 games here in game number 4. A bit slower in the kill department. The only heroes that got low were maybe the Chen and Urel up in that top lane, but they survived, and still no one has fallen. Here's a first Bruiser camp, actually first Merc camp overall for Cosmos in the game, but will be matched in the bottom lane by some Hellbats coming forward from the amateur opponents, now looking to invade on the opposite side of the map. Here they come. Nice silence from Stukov, gonna make sure ETC can't get away, and finally we have our first blood of the game, and it belongs to the amateur opponents. A fantastic steal on that siege camp.
And it only took them 6 minutes into the game to get that first kill. Long time for that first kill. Actually, I think all of the previous games were under a minute or at a minute. Chen in a little danger here, but they don't have Valkyrie. They don't have any way to pull Chen back. So able to pretty much just walk out of there. But you know, one of the other things we didn't really talk too much about is that with Brightwing on this map specifically, she can make use of her phase shift to travel quickly into that off lane when necessary, and maybe try to secure a kill or help against a gank attempt.
And here she comes right now, actually. Gonna help heal up the ETC as well, as everyone's gonna retreat, get back to safety near their fort. They don't have their wall, they don't have their fountain. That's maybe the fountain the bigger deal, because how do they get any sort of health and sustain on these beacons here? Rotation number 2 about to be ready to go in 15 seconds. Chen doesn't have a fountain up top either. This could be trouble for the amateur opponents.
Well, they've got the pressure still in the top lane a little bit, helping to take out the wall. We see Urel heading back now, so they're at least going to be able to get the bottom control point with no contest. But that's going to give Cosmos the top, and Chen kind of noping right out of there, sees a whole lot of red shirts.
Polymorph, bend.
Yeah, the stagger's going to be able to let him out, but he's got a back pretty much because he doesn't have any more health.
Yeah, no fountain, and that's going to be a sieging opportunity, but it will be matched down in the bottom lane as Greymane's here going to finish off the fountain of Cosmos in the bottom lane. Top fort is going to fall. Nice siege coming out from them, and they still maintain possession of that top beacon. Is going to allow them to rotate down to the bottom lane, maybe look for a fight deep on their side of the map if they want to take it.
Yeah, and amateur opponents hasn't recognized the time to leave, but it looks like they get out just barely in time.
And they're going to have both beacons look at Brightwing on the point. Li Ming almost passing around some of that living bomb, but we do see at level 10, it's not the Blink heal, it is the Emerald Wind. I was expecting extra healing coming out from Oddity.
And, you know, the Emerald Wind is nice. We do get that Power Slide onto Johanna. Looking now with the Lightning Ball coming out, spreading that damage all over. Mosh Pit coming out, but the Flailing Swipe is going to stop it. Cassia, however, getting stopped, I think. Stunned by Blessed Shield. There we go.
Oh, who would have guessed it? Butte Holiday saving the day yet again on a different hero this time, but still looking just as good from the support position. ETC gonna power slide in. Here comes Cassie as well. Nice silence. It's Cactus Ham in trouble. Pops his Mana Addict shield and will survive through, but it is Johanna the one to fall with a great phase shift coming in from Brightwing, saving the day. Might get more now. Silver Jackal looking for resets. Low health on Cactus Ham and Butte Holiday, but they're not going to be able to chase it down. Instead, they want these beacons, and beacons they shall have.
Yeah, they're going to get that bottom fort as well, and that's going to send the Zerg in the bot lane here right to the keep wall. Keep wall is gone for sure. The question is how much more can they get out of it? And if they get the siege camp here with the armor penetration, that'll give them a huge benefit here.
Wow. Yeah, this is going to be a big stack. Hellbats and Zerg for this bottom lane. And just now back on the map are all 5 heroes for the amateur opponents. They're going to even send the Chen down here. They got to make sure they keep this keep alive because it is starting to look bad for the amateur opponents.
And there is a little Zerg wave up in the top lane, but it doesn't get very far. So not a lot that Cosmos has to worry about up there. Phoenix is going to come out to help try to counter a little bit on the Zerg. Nay, right up there by the wall, does help to get that side wall down, and Johanna's deep into the Zerg. But ETC's going in. The Flailing Swipe knocking everybody back. Not a lot left, though.
Still 12 seconds for that mosh pit, so ETC really can't do too much, but the separation right there from Yarel. Big mace to the face of Johanna. That is an enormous kill in this moment because the keep with the Hellbats on it, so much armor reduction on it. Definitely going to end up falling. They do lose their Brightwing, but doesn't matter. They got the prize they were after, Aero.
And they've still got a little bit of Zerg here, so they can use this time to head up. And it looks like they may be heading right for the boss. No, they're heading to clean up top lane, get the siege camp.
Yeah, boss may be greedy.
It definitely would be greedy, but they also have a Brightwing with Emerald Wind. So
you got a really good point. They're going to check out the boss. They think they're going to be there, but nope. Are they looking for a fight pre-13? Oh, this could be risky. No 13s here for amateur opponents, and they're playing aggressive. Now going to back off. But yeah, definitely looked like they were thinking about something there.
Yeah, trying to maybe engage when they didn't have the Brightwing, but again, I mean, with phase shift, she can always be there.
Do you feel as though they're starting to feel desperate on a map like Brax's Holdout that can snowball with multiple 100% Zerg waves to your face like that? I mean, they have 13, they're on even talents. Should they be looking for a fight?
I think they have to, because the only way that they come back into this game is they get some kills and they find a lane that they can push down. Both of those lanes are about half, but they get the poly out onto Johanna. She does proc the unstoppable. Ide falling very low, uses that Surge of Light, though. Phase Shift not going to save Cassia. Chen coming in with Storm, Earth, and Fire, looking for the ETC. They get that kill. Could they get the Urel? She's going to have Hand of Freedom, probably. Never mind, she gets slowed right there. And Ardent Defender used. I think she gets out. And I think this is the opportunity now for them to look for maybe that boss play. They are going to have to clean up bottom at some point here, but with the Greymane, they can burn this down pretty quickly.
That was exactly what the amateur opponents needed. They take the lead now in kills, although Cactus Ham very low, has to be careful here. Oh boy, and I think they're realizing Emerald Wind on the other side as well. They might end up just leashing that, even with the Chen now showing in the bottom lane. They know this isn't a good look for them, and they're just going to steal the boss. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, they did him a favor.
Yeah, they took a little too long to get there, and I think they had enough time with, like, they could have left Chen with the group and taken that boss as a 5-man, and then come back to clear.
Beacon's active too. Oh boy, amateur opponents are gonna have to move out of the base and charge at something. Probably this bottom lane, ETC is not gonna be with, but they don't know exactly who's not with them right now.
Well, Boss is eventually definitely going to take top keep here. Phase shift interrupted. Getting the kill out onto Brightwing is a great place to start. They do pause the channel at 42%.
Yeah, I wish we could take a peek at that boss right now because it is getting through the wall quickly. Minion wave here as well. Someone has to defend this keep. It looks like it'll be Greymane, and still no one on that top side beacon. They don't want to split too far. They can't afford to lose heroes.
Well, here comes the fight. Chen going in, diving onto Ney, sitting at about half health there. Greymane, I don't think he saves the keep.
He can't.
Keep is gone, so that's it. There's no more structure on the side of amateur opponents, and 16s are coming up. Brightwing's going to get the poly onto Chen, and big mosh pit onto 2. Here comes the lightning ball. Terminator is going to get the Storm Earth and Fire just in time. Emerald Wind going to push everybody back, or at least all of the Chen bodies. But Urel diving in, looking for Duck Rogers as ETC power sliding in, gets 3, and falls Murda.
Yeah, a bit aggressive. You know, he didn't have the mosh pit. He didn't have, like, a true healer with him. It's just that Brightwing and Phase Shift was already on cooldown. So, bit of a misstep there by ETC, going to cost them a 30-second death timer. Can they find a kill? So far, no, but they will get the beacon for now.
But more importantly, they have catapults pressuring. That might be the difference, and keeping them engaged in this fight could be enough to get core pressure, but not if they lose additional heroes. Cassia now on the staggered death. Somebody has to deal with these. 3 catapults in the bot lane is starting to put core damage, and now a 60% channel, and it's not going to matter. At this point, getting the Zerg wave is a danger for amateur opponents.
Well, Phase Shift just came out onto Urel to allow her to step into this beacon. They're not going to lose any channel points. You're exactly right. I mean, with catapults approaching in both lanes, you just have to play patient from here if you're Cosmos. Allow them to back up, start clearing out catapults, and then make your move onto these points. Speaking of move onto points, here comes ETC.
And this is a dangerous fight now. Urel is in a flank position. Cassia just came back on the map, and Li Ming's thrown out those orbs. And keep in mind, with her level 4 talent, she's able to get that cooldown reduction on those arcane orbs. So big damage potential from her. Kael'thas now going to go to the bot lane and is going to flip the control point there. So
yeah, they give that information.
Is this the first percentage for amateur opponents this game? I think it is.
It is, yeah, 10%. Look at Stukov caught out by Urel. Here comes a big orb to his face as well. Still in control of this beacon is ETC, and Urel on this flank gonna be in trouble, but also is Chen stuck in that mosh pit. A 1-for-1 exchange, both bruisers down.
Catapults heading toward the core here on the side of amateur opponents. So if they're gonna take this fight, they have to engage it. And big stun out from the Kael'thas, followed up by Johanna, but she's running low on mana now too. Butte Holiday almost out of health.
Cosmos just has to play patient. Again, they have catapults marching both lanes. They just need to wait until they see heroes dropping back to clear those, and then get on these beacons. Oh, or get this kill. They will. Greymane is down. This could be the beginning of the end now, Aero. Beacons wide open for them.
And if they want it, there's a boss. They have 2 heroes down, including the biggest damage dealer in Greymane. They have the Emerald Wind. They could absolutely, in every way, make this a checkmate.
They're going to get all the camps they can grab. 84% already picked up on the channel. No one nearby. It will be another big Zerg wave for Cosmos. Is it enough to close it out with no keeps in their way? Can they punch their ticket to next week in the Division C Grand Finals? We're about to find out.
It's looking real good. They've got that pressure in the bot lane, too. ETC's looking at Chen. You know what, Murda? Take it away. You can finish this
well,
out.
With Chen down, that could be even more trouble. Stukov backside's going to fall as well. Bruiser Camp getting the finish on that. Phase shift in on top of the Urel. They find a Kael'thas caught out, but I don't even think they care. All they care about is the win. The core is wide open, and it's already at 76%. Zerg approaching. Bruisers approaching. catapults even in the bottom lane. I think they've done it. Yes, they have. Cosmos is moving on to the Division C Grand Finals.
What a match tonight, Murda. This was absolutely crazy. A 3-1 victory in favor of Cosmos. And you have to imagine that they are just overwhelmingly excited at this. You know, they started off the 4th seed in Division C West. They didn't have to play against Better Than Bots, the number 1 seed that had gone undefeated in the regular season. They come up against the number 2 seed amateur opponents who did really well this season, and they get a 3-1 victory. What a way to finish out C West.
That was quite the set. We didn't get a sweep, neither the 3-game sweep or the reverse sweep, but we had one hell of a set tonight. I think both teams really need to walk away with their heads held high tonight. A lot of strong fights taken by both sides. Amateur opponents look really good, and we're really just a step or two behind Cosmos in a few of those maps, which ended up costing them tonight. But definitely a strong season for them. Nothing to be ashamed of at all.
Absolutely. I'm going to reach out and see if we can get ourselves an interview.
Sure.
And Murda, we finished before midnight.
We did. I can get to bed. I gotta work in the morning.
So while we wait to hear back here, Silver and Ide. Okay, so we'll hop over there in just a second. I want to take a look and see if we know who the C East camps are, or if that's even gotten that.
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh no, that's later this week. It's Scalding Sweat, Cult, and Team Tiny. So it'll be number 5 and number 7 seeds. Holy cow! What a playoff season this is.
Absolutely. Man, I don't know. How do you stop this side of Cosmos, though? They looked really strong tonight. They got their Li Ming finally there in game number 4 and ended up having the top hero damage in the game. So I'm excited to head on over to this interview.
Well, let's head on over to Lobby 5.
Sure.
Welcome. We are joined by Silver Jackal and E-Day15. Congratulations, guys. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you?
Pretty excited. We wanted to get a rematch with them. We played them our very first game in the season, and we were still working things out, and they 2-0'd us.
Well, what a way you started off. You took the first 2 games. You dropped the third one, but ultimately win the set 3-1. So that's a great exclamation mark after the season here. You guys are the 4th seed coming into the playoffs. Did you expect to get this far? What were your expectations when you started the playoffs, and how do you feel about your expectations going forward now?
Well, at least for me, I always expect to win. Not really expect, but that's what I am, my goal. That's what I chase for. I'm not sure what E-Day wants to think.
Yeah, I think we're confident going into playoffs. Like Silver said, early season, we were trying to figure some stuff out as a new team. We lost, I think, our first 4 games. Lost our first 2 sets 0-2. We did a role swap. We had Ciaris and Ney on opposite rows originally, and we swapped that up after our second set. And we had a lot of success throughout the rest of the season after that change. So we were pretty confident going in, but there's a lot of good teams. TT Dub knocked off Better Than Bots. That was an 8v1, both good teams, but usually expect the 1 seed to handle the 8 pretty easy. So playoffs, anything can happen. But,
sure.
We were just trying to go in with a strong mindset, and this set in particular, we knew AO was a really, really good team. We just tried to play our best.
So I'm gonna let Murda get into some of the more specific questions, because I know he's good at asking things about specific games and stuff like that. But I have to say I'm kind of sad that we don't have Oddity here. I want to do a quick shout out to Oddity. The Deckard play in game number 1 and 2, and even the Brightwing play. I'm a big fan of Brightwing. She's my second most played hero. So getting to see her in a game and actually be and effective use was fantastic to see. So I just wanted to shout out Oddity. Murda, I'm going to throw it over to you for some questions, if you don't mind.
Well, yeah, my question, since we have you here, Silver Jackal, games 1, 2, and 3, I'm sure you noticed, first ban of each of those maps, they take away your Li Ming, and I was like, surely they're not going with Li Ming on Brax's holdout, but you did, and you had the top hero damage in the game. Talk about like how it feels not getting her and then finally getting that opportunity to shine in game 4.
So I'm fine not getting her because I'm usually forced onto it, and I'd rather play the Dreams. But yeah, I play her well. I think EDA did some stats for our team, and I was 11 and 10 with her. So I'm pretty sure that's why she was getting out
11 and 1.
Yeah, 11 and 1.
I was going to say 50% isn't usually ban-worthy, but okay.
I'm at 11 games, I won 10 is what I'm at.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it worked.
Yeah, I enjoy playing her. She's a really strong hero. Get that reset, and she can just go off.
If we recycle or rewind rather all the way back to game number 1, it's Tomb of the Spider Queen, and that was maybe one of our closest maps outside of, I guess, Volskaya, which really could have gone either way as well. But Tomb of the Spider Queen, there were so many moments in that map where they had gems on hand. You guys were dropping heroes at maybe inopportune moments. They ended up getting your bottom lane keep down, and it didn't look too good for a bit. Did you guys ever have a moment where you're like, oh man, we're about to go down 1-0? Or did you keep the faith and figure out a way to, like, what happened there at the end that allowed you guys to really hang on for that win?
Go ahead, EJ. You answered this question quite a bit.
Yeah, we've been asked that a couple times lately. If we get behind in a game, you know, are we moving on to the next game or thinking about, you know, panicking or anything like that? And we're pretty lucky with the team, level-headed team, pretty much top to bottom. When we're down, nobody's panicking or definitely no tilting, like no toxic stuff. Just everybody says, all right, what went wrong there? You know, and, you know, 8 times out of 10, you know, somebody says I was out of position, or, you know, I didn't get my damage down. It's one of those things where we just talk things out as we're going. If we're losing team fights or if we're getting out macroed, we just talk it through as the game's going on. Take a step back, take a break, figure out what we can do, come up with a game plan, and try to execute it. And at least that way, you know, if you still lose the game, you know, at least you tried something different or you adjusted instead of just running it, you know, right in their face over and over again.
Yeah, and speaking of game plan, I want to credit you guys. That game 1 draft, bringing out all that CC, you had the ETC, of course, Kael'thas, Deckard Cain, Imperius, all with their form of CC to help out that Greymane get some damage. Seemed like something you guys were really wanting to draft in game number 1. How do you feel as though overall your drafting went tonight, and was game 1 maybe your favorite one you had all night?
Yeah, I think overall we were pretty happy with drafting tonight. The two teams, there's a decent amount of hero overlap, especially in my pool. Both of their DPS play some of the heroes that I play, so we kind of went into it looking to occasionally prioritize mine and take it high, but also we just wanted to take things that work for us. And like you're saying, in that first draft, you know, we picked up the ETC early, I believe, with maybe the Greymane, just to apply some kill pressure early. And just from there, we kind of rounded the draft out, and it worked out to where everybody but the Greymane had some pretty solid form of CC, which made it a little tough for the Garrosh. He has his Unstoppable, but Stukov doesn't have a cleanse, so, you know, once he burns that, you know, he's kind of fair game. And a lot of their other heroes didn't really have escapes that much either, so we were pretty happy with that draft. And in general tonight, we felt pretty good about our drafts. They had some solid ones too. I think it was pretty fair across the board in most of those games.
Yeah, the other thing that we saw in games 2 and 3, the Tassadar Phoenix combo, double Protoss, it seemed to work well in game 2. You tried it again in game 3. Were there any regrets bringing it out for game number 3 after the loss? Or did you feel as though you were making the right move and still confident with the pairing?
I feel like we just we took some team fights we didn't want, and we got some of us got picked off in unopportune moments. I think we played decent well. We just had some mistakes that they punished pretty well.
Well, I see Aero has a question here from chat. You wanna
I
go
do.
ahead, Aero?
Are you all set, Murda?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So Chad asked, but I was going to ask this either way. So we looked up here, C East. They've got their game coming up here Saturday at 8:30. The caster is yet to be determined. It's going to be Scalding, Sweat Cult, and Team Tiny. One of those teams you will ultimately face in the grand finals here next week. Have you looked at these teams at all? Do you have any kind of plans? Obviously, don't go into the plans, but like, have you taken a look at these guys and have anything set up, or is it just, you know what, we'll deal with that when we get there?
No, usually our scouting is pretty much whoever's in front of us next. So that's kind of how we'll handle it for this next week. Getting this game in on Tuesday helps me out a lot because I can, especially, you said theirs is tonight or tomorrow?
Saturday.
I don't even, Saturday. Okay, yeah. So that kind of sucks, but I'll probably just scout them both out fully, and then it doesn't matter, and we can, we'll get the information ready, and then whoever wins will have, Sunday through whenever we end up playing them to figure out what our actual plan is. But yeah, I don't personally, if I went and looked at the rosters, I might recognize some players, but I don't know a great deal about the two teams just off the names.
Yeah,
I know a little bit. I've been watching their games.
Yeah, we did scrim Scalding back in it was about a month ago. We scrimmed them a little bit, but outside of that, we don't have any real deep information on them, I don't believe.
Sure. I think Scalding is a new team, but it definitely has some familiar NGS names. Team Tiny, I don't recognize many of the names here, so I think they're a new NGS team as well. So definitely some opportunities there to check out what they've got. But these are the number 5 and number 7 seeds out of C East, so it's going to be competitive. It's going to be a great set. I can't wait to see how things go with the grand finals next week. Last question before we get to any shoutouts that I like to ask, and I've apparently convinced some other casters to start asking, and I think it's a great question.
Me.
Like Murda. Was there any particular moment tonight that you wanted to make sure you got a shout out, a highlight moment? Maybe it was something that was caught on stream, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was something you did or the enemy team did, but just something that you wanted to say, you know what, this was a thing that happened that I wanted to make sure got on the stream.
Honestly, nothing really super stands out to me, at least.
And that's okay. I always forget, like I'm
just in the moment, and
yeah, like it's straight to recycle bin auto delete for my brain when it comes to the game, so I get it.
What about you, Day?
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think that again, they played pretty well tonight, so the games were pretty even back and forth a lot, so there wasn't anything where I felt like, I'm sure if I went back and looked at the replays, there would be some really solid plays on both sides, but nothing's like immediately popping in my head.
Well, I'll give you guys one that I thought was an overwhelmingly like positive moment for you guys, and it set the stage. Like, you ended up losing the game, but it was such a great moment in that game. It was up at that top protector, and neither of you guys are part of this, so there you go. But Nay was sitting on the point, gets absolutely demolished, has no health left, and Lifebinder instant one, like 99% health return Lifebinder, and
you did have some amazing Lifebinders that game.
Yeah, and I think you guys end up winning. I think that's the fight you guys end up winning. I can't remember. You did end up getting that protector, but so there you go. There's my freebie. Any shout outs for Twitchland?
Take it away, Ide.
Oh man, well, shout outs to the team. Everybody played well tonight, and really good season. Obviously happy with where we're at right now, and shout outs to our subs too. All season we haven't really used them, but I mean, Dark and Hex have always been on standby for us. I think I forgot. I was so scrambled tonight. Was it Hex or Dark that jumped in before.
I
Game
believe it was
7.
Hex.
Yeah, I think it was Hex. He was like on standby for us in case somebody's CPU or internet screwed up. So just want to shout out them for always being ready for us, and that kind of sucks, especially because they haven't really played all season. It sucks to be asked to be ready when you haven't been playing, but they've done an awesome job for us in that. Thanks again for the cast tonight, and I always say it. Thanks for all the cast throughout the season. It's been awesome all season with the cast rate and just the quality of casting in NGS this season. And thanks to all the NGS staff. This is my maybe 6th season of playing, and I'm really enjoying the league as always. So I want to make sure that they get a little bit of love. There's a lot of times people just complain about shit instead of saying thanks. So thanks to them, and thanks to everyone who watched tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show.
I'm about to give a shout out here to Ide for all the research he does for us. Props to you, man.
Buddy.
Good deal.
Also, shout out to amateur opponents. I'm not sure if you said that. GG's, it was a really good set here.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, guys, thanks so much for joining us. Congratulations on your victory, and good luck next week in the grand finals.
All right, thank you very much.
Guys.
You guys have a
Thanks
good one.
for the cast.
Good luck,
You're
guys.
welcome. Right, calling Murda back.
Hello, I need to hit camera button. There we go. Hello.
Bing, and there's Murda. Welcome back, Murda. We got your bright, shiny face on the stream again. We're done.
We're done.
That's it. That's it for tonight. The next NGS cast isn't until, I think, tomorrow. Yeah, there's 2 of them tomorrow. One at 9, one at 10:30.
And
Both
you're
Division
getting me
B.
out of here before 12 o'clock.
We can talk for 4 more minutes if you want.
No, no, I like you. Not that much, though.
Well, Murda, tell everybody where they can find you and what you're doing before we take off.
Yeah, if you want to find me, probably easiest way is over on Discord at the top of the NGS server. I'm a board member here for NGS, so come say hi at any time. If you have any questions or any concerns, feel free to slide in my DMs, or else, of course, you can find me casting as many NGS matches as I humanly can, which apparently is not as many as Aero humanly can, at least not the last 2 seasons. But that's over at twitch.tv/MurdaRG. Aero, I got to say thank you to you for hosting tonight. Had a great time as always, my friend.
Well, it's been really great having you here. I hope that you get an opportunity to cast here later this week. I think you were putting your name in, so I'm sure you'll get
Friday night.
Yeah,
I got the Division A West.
Ah.
Division A West finals. Regen Retro versus Tainted Orphans.
That should be a fun one. So thanks again for joining me here tonight, and make sure you guys tune into Murda's channel at MurdaRG there. Give him a follow, throw him a subscribe. He's out there buying a house, so could use all the numbers you guys want to throw at him. But again, appreciate you guys all joining us here tonight. Hope you have a wonderful night. Enjoyed the set. We'll see you again soon.